Welcome to the AIP channel where anything is possible, and we have another episode with the great Jamie Grant.
Two
We
in a
might figure
row.
out to figure
We're
out a
back
great
again.
name. We might have figured out a name. I put a talking with conspiracies, but we might figure out. We'll have to figure out a name for this stuff. But I just threw that up there just to have something.
Well, I mean, because that's what we're going to talk about today,
Oh, for
But
sure.
we're all over the place. This can go from history of our lives to MMA to the time we got pulled over to the time we saw a UFO. I mean, I'd say the range is like this.
Yeah, and I have stories on them all. I promise you there. I've seen UFOs and ran from police and been pulled over, and I've done, I've done it all.
Listen, if you've never run from the cops, I just don't think that I don't think that I could trust you in my lifeboat. You know what I mean? Um, if I was gonna choose someone, I would rather have somebody that's had some dirt on them, been knocked down, had to pick themselves up. I want somebody in my corner, man, that's been through some shit in life. Yeah, that's what I need. Some resilient
Oh no,
people.
I've been to the bottom. Yeah, I ran from Bartlett police one night.
Let's
I
talk
was
about that.
in. Oh,
Let's talk about that. Go right ahead, Ricky.
I'll tell the story. It was funny. I was riding in somebody else's Jeep. It was a friend of mine I've known forever, and then there was a. They were they had got really really drunk that night, and so and I was sober as can be. So they had me. So you drive the Jeep. So we were driving, and we were cutting through, and I was just hauled ass. It's middle of the night, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I forgot what little road it was, but I was hauling ass down it, and that cop turned them lights, and he turned, but he couldn't. The way it was, there's big two ditches on each side, so he had to stop and back up, and then turn and come after me. But he had already turned his lights on. If he was smart, he would have turned around and did all that shit, and then come up behind me. But I guess I was going so fucking fast that he was just like, "Wait a minute," and he just instantly hit them lights. Well, he hit them lights. My mind went, "Wait a minute! I'm in somebody else's vehicle. I don't know where the fucking insurance card is, if there isn't even one. Ain't nobody here. Fuck this! I'm too close to Memphis. I'm right at that little edge. They gonna catch me." And that motherfucker beside me was like, "Oh God," I'm like, just chill out. We're good. I cut the headlights off and I started turning down roads and shoot, shoot, shoot. Next thing I'm popped out of Memphis. I'm like, here we go. And I remember that guy's eyes are big as hell. He's like, I'm like, yeah, I could be a getaway driver. There's no doubt. If I wanted to be that kind of lifestyle, I know these streets.
You know, um, I've run from the cops several times. So I used to ride motorcycles, and one of those psychopath manners like you see on the regular, right? And I would run. I wouldn't stop. I stopped a couple times when I was young. I got tickets every time, and then once I realized that I was faster than them and I was more psycho than them, I never stopped again. Um, I was gone for a year and was overseas working for a cruise line, and my bike was in storage while I was gone. So the week that I get home, I get my bike out, I get it cleaned up, and I get it started up, and I shoot down Church Road down in DeSoto County. And they had just widened Church Road to 5 lanes from Getwell all the way to 305.
Mm-hmm.
When I hit that road, man, it was like being on glass. And that GSXR 1000, boy, ooh, turned it up. So there's a couple little series of hills as you're heading to the east, and the second one that I started to top, I looked down and I was doing about a buck 65, and I go, I don't know what's on the other side of that hill. I better let off the gas. And as soon as I topped that hill, we passed each other. I saw the look on his face and was like, bang, took off. So as I start to come up on 305, I look back behind me and I realize he's still coming. So I make the left on 305 and I just pull over on the side of the road. I get off my bike. I take my helmet off. I open up the back of my bike. I get my insurance paperwork out and he comes sliding through the intersection, man. And he pulls up behind me and he sits in his car, man, for about what seemed like 3 or 4 minutes, man. And he gets out of his car and he walks up to me and he goes, "Why did you stop?" And I go, "Man," and I pulled up my pants leg and I showed him my knee. And I'm like, I've already got one of these. I don't want another one. And it just ain't worth it, man. There's no sense in endangering your life because you're coming. Let me tell you something, man. This dude didn't write me a ticket. He was so cool. I was sure I was going to jail. Like, I'm already figured out who I'm going to call because my shit's getting impounded. We going to
Oh
jail.
yeah.
I'm not going to my new job, which was what I was running late for, which is why I was hauling ass to get there. Man, dude, I got so lucky, my brother. So, so lucky. We did dumb
I
stuff
had
when we
a
were kids, man.
similar. The guy he pulled. I was, of course, now it's just a normal down speed limit, but back when I was uh 19, 20 or something like that, it was a little better. But I'm coming around 240 and I'm hauling ass trying to get home before I can get to sleep because I worked like 4 to 1 shift and it's like 11 o'clock at night and I still had 30, 40 minutes to get home. I mean, I'm hauling ass. Um, Not terrible, but I was doing 29 over the speed limit. I remember that. And the cop pulled me over. I looked at my rearview mirror and I seen that cop like sitting on my damn bumper. He just got behind me, and I turned around and looked. I'm like, damn, and I hit my brake lights. When I did, that son of a bitch lights come on. That's when I learned don't hit brake lights.
Just keep
Just
riding, man. Just slow
don't
down and
just
take
let
your
off
foot
the
off the
gas and
gas.
don't
That's
let.
right.
Every time I've ever hit my brake lights, cops come after me. If I just let off my gas and slow down, they're like, okay, he understands. He's slowing.
Right.
He's doing all right, I guess. But I mean, it knock on wood. That's every time it really has. But he come over there and he said, what do I need to do? I said, well, I hope you just give me a warning. He said, well,
Please, sir.
yeah. I was like, he said, why are you driving so fast? And I said, well, because I was like, I got to be at work. I got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be at work at 4. I was like, I'm just trying to get home if I can get a couple hours sleep. And he's like, well, he said, I don't like writing paperwork. He said, if you were doing 1 more mile an hour over, he said, I had to impound you and it was reckless driving. But because you weren't, I'm going to just let you, they just let me go. So he's like, all
He
right,
hooked
get
you
on
up,
out of
man. You
here.
got hooked up. You ever been
Yeah, it was pretty
screwed
cool.
over by a cop over some BS?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I on Sam Cooper. He was like, as soon as he come up to me in my window, he's like, I know everybody else is driving faster than you. I didn't even say nothing. I was at the end of the pack. There was like a whole like 20 cars right here, all hauling ass, and I was at the end of the pack. And he said, "Yeah, I know you. Everybody else is going faster than you." And he gave me my ticket. I said, "Well, that's all right. I'll be in the middle next time, or I'll be leading that motherfucker one or the other. I won't
Oh,
be in the back
dude.
no more."
Yeah, I got
But he
jammed
sure
up.
he said like I didn't even say nothing. As soon as he got up to the window, as soon as he said he knew. He's like, yeah, I know you were on the back. And I didn't even say a word to him.
He
I said, you
stopped you
know,
because he knew you would pull over. Those Chargers that were in front of you, nah, man, they were gone.
yeah.
We know how it rolls in Memphis, man. Good times, baby. Good times. Well, man, we got us here. Here we are. We talked about something we wanted to follow up on last time, which was some of the conspiracies that are wrapped around September 11th. Because I know you've got some stuff that you've shared with me that I wasn't real familiar with, and I've shared some stuff with you that I think you were already familiar with, and it's kind of a fun conversation to go down that rabbit hole. Um, a lot of things. Like, where were you at on September 11th? Do you remember what happened that day? Where were you when it all broke down?
I was working at Kroger's. I did receiving, received all the like Wonder Bread and all that kind of stuff, free laid chip. I didn't have to mess with them a whole lot, but like Wonder Bread and all that kind of stuff, all the vendors, I had to check them in. So I was in the back and somebody said, did you hear what happened? I was like, what? And I had one of those little bitty, remember the little D battery little TVs? You had a little black and white screen.
Oh
I
yeah,
have a
yeah, yeah,
radio
yeah.
and all that. Somebody had turned one of them back in. I had it in the back, so I had it on my shelf instead of turning it back into claims. I put it on my shelf
Right.
because it worked. So I turned on my little TV and then I was watching it. And then as soon as we got done receiving, time was closed. I ran upstairs and to the break room. They had a TV set up there, and I sat in there. I punched out for lunch. Went back over there, punched back in for lunch, and went right back in there. And I sat in there the rest of the day. I didn't do nothing else but
But
watch
fixed to that
watch the
TV.
TV and watch the insanity that was on the news the whole day till
Yeah,
time to go home.
it was pretty wild, man. I had just started college after my accident and was in class at Northwest down in South Haven. And I think my mom called my cell phone while I was at school. And of course, I'm going to answer the phone when it's my mom. She tells me what happened. I blurt out loud what happened. We end up turning the TV on in the classroom. And I was like, shit, I'm going to the house. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to the house. So I lived across the street, and the apartment's across the street, and I walk home, and my wife's at home, and I'm like, hey, we got to turn the TV on. I'm like, tower just got hit. She's like, what? So you turn the TV on, boom. As soon as we turn the TV on, within 30 seconds, that next plane hits, man. And it was like, wow, um, it was a pretty wild day, and one of the things that stood out to me the most was where I lived at in South Haven. We were right in the flight line for Memphis International Airport. So when they shut down all air traffic that day, it was so weird being,
Quiet.
in that flight line and there's no sound. You know what I mean? Like no sound. And the other distinct thing that I remember is within just a couple hours after that happened, every gas station around, man, boom, price of gas shot up through the roof, man. I think at one point it was almost $5 a gallon in South Haven. You know, it was
Yeah, it got ridiculous, and people were just. Well, I mean, I was running out of gas because everybody was rushing to the stations and
right. Go fill up
buying them
now.
out.
We're
And
under attack. We're under attack.
yeah, we're under attack. We got to get gas,
you know,
gas and eggs and bread, milk, and toilet
man,
paper.
no kidding. Toilet paper. If COVID taught us anything, we are very ill prepared on the things that we need. Because if everybody went to the store and their first reaction was, oh my God, I better pick up all the Charmin, those people are never going to survive the first time they have to wipe their ass with a leaf. Okay? Until you've
or,
used a stick, I mean, just
or your
grinding
sock.
it across.
You haven't used your sock and threw that
What
son
are
of a
the
bitch
three
away.
seashells for? What movie? What movie?
Demolition Man.
Okay, all right, all right. The three seashells. What
That's
a
one of my
great movie,
favorites.
man. That's so funny.
They
Uh,
say it might be a. They might be a. That's just a bidet. They're thinking, they possibility that's what it was. The three seashells. It might have been a bidet, but
a bidet. That's
uh,
funny, man. Some of the things that I remember too. Right after. No, hey, you know what? Let's talk about. Um, did anything stand out to you on September 11th that didn't look right? Do you remember? The conspiracy started well after, but do you remember anything that happened that day that made you ask a question?
that day it didn't. For me, it didn't. It took me a few days to start. Once all the insanity started happening after the after effect, um, that's when my questions started being popping up. And the day of, I was just like, I was any, you know, red blood, and let's just go blow them all to kingdom come. I was ready to just level the whole area. Uh, and I'll push the button. I don't give a damn. I hit. Let's level the whole region. But
Because they were pretty
then,
quick immediately to go, Bin Laden did it.
yeah, Bin Laden did it. Afghanistan, but then we, like you said, we touched on this a little bit. But to me, it was like, all right, Bin Laden. Within hours, Bin Laden. Like, okay, if they knew this guy so much, how all of a sudden, why now? Why didn't y'all able to, you know, kind of intercede with this, and
Right.
stop it? And then they turn around and, well, we're going to go attack Iraq. Well, what are you doing? Why are we attacking Iraq? We've gone down that road before. we've had Operation Desert Storm. We walked through Iraq and got all of Kuwait's oil. We're good. What the hell are we going back over there again? And of course, a lot of people was like, oh, a lot of people was just, I don't care, I don't blow them all up. They were still in that same mindset. It's just a Middle Eastern
Right.
country. Other, as long as you're not except for one, of course. All but
We're not
one.
going to talk
You
about
could
them
blow.
yet. We don't want to get
No, no, no,
shut
no, no,
down
no.
yet.
Yeah. Well, we're on Rumble, so
We're good there. Hey, if we get cut
yeah,
off YouTube, you know what it is, bro. You know.
yeah. I've had one video pop off. I had to delete, but it's on Rumble. So
You know,
yeah,
so
if
when
you
I
see
asked,
weird numbers where it episode skips on YouTube, just
you
go
know, it
look
got
on
deleted.
Rumble because
That's right.
there's a reason. I said something, or somebody with me said something we shouldn't have. Well, they think we shouldn't have.
Right. So so there was something that day that stood out to me that made me immediately ask a question. Because right after they made the announcement that the aircraft went down in Shanksville, PA, they show this footage from this helicopter that is circling over the field where this plane allegedly went down. And the reason I say allegedly is because as soon as that footage started coming in, I asked the question, where's the plane? Where is the aircraft? Like, there was not a piece bigger than your phone in a field. It looked like
Mm-mm.
somebody just threw a bunch of pieces of white material around and there's a hole in the ground. I'm like, where's the fuselage? Where's the tail section? Where's the landing gear? Where's an engine? Where are the pieces of an aircraft that make this a plane crash? I was like, it looks like they flew a missile into the ground. That to me is kind of what it looked like.
It
You know,
probably
then
was.
then the storyline on that goes, well, the aircraft reached such a pitch vertically that it went straight down horizontally. I mean, it goes from horizontal to vertical. Sorry, my planes are fucked
Yeah.
up right now. It goes straight down into the ground at a point that it disintegrates as it buries it. Man, get the fuck out of here. Come on, bro. Come on.
It,
Where's the tail
it's
section at?
it's the only time in history that I can, if somebody was prove me wrong, go ahead and please do it. The only time in history that we had plane crashes, multiple plane crashes, and there was no plane wreckage anywhere.
Well,
The
when the towers there
Pentagon, we didn't
was
have no plane
no plane
wreckage.
wreckage at the Pentagon, but at the tower there was landing gear. There were pieces of engines that were found
Well, I mean, yeah, with
at the
those, but
towers.
we
There
had
was
with
right.
oops.
Um, one of I drove past the Pentagon shortly after September 11th. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed, and I had to drive to Philly to a funeral, and it was very eerie being driving through Washington D.C. We actually took the day and walked through D.C., seeing tanks on the ground in D.C., seeing troop placement all out throughout the city. It was crazy, you know. But I remember driving past that building and looking at that building as we went past, and I went, "There is no way an aircraft hit that building. There's no way." And then you see these photos after the fact where there are perfect circle holes in the wall that looks like some kind of, and we have them, missile goes through multiple rooms before it explodes. You know, when September 11th first happened, I was so bought into what they were selling us, I didn't see anything. Granted, I asked the question about Shanksville, but I kind of left it at that. I just assumed it is what it is. Then you learn down the road about building 7. Then you learn down the road about building 6. Then you learn about, the allegedly the head offices of the FBI, the NSA, whomever else was in building 7 that had all these documents. Apparently there's a bunch of money, gold, whatever in there. And now all that shit's gone. Now these are all conspiracies, but it's things that you hear that make you ask questions. You know,
Exactly.
why do you see video footage of firemen being inside building 7 saying, hey, we all got to leave, they're gonna pull the building? Do you know what kind of term that is, Ricky?
It's a demolition term for when they decide to bring a building down when they're controlled demolition. That's
You know,
the term for it.
it's, I mean, you've seen it. Does it not look like a complete controlled demo?
Oh yeah, I mean it's absolutely at free for all rate. Um, the 9/11, all the engineers come up and I like we were talking about a little bit on the last one. If you haven't heard, listen to the last one, you should check it out too. But listen to this one first. Uh, but yeah, the 9/11. The architects. There's like was like 1,500 of them that they're trying. All their goal is no. They don't have any conspiracy theories of, hey, this blah blah, this blah blah. Like we want to understand what happened to the building, how it fell like that, because it's the only time in history that a building on fire collapsed like it did at free
Right.
for all rate.
Free fall,
It
son.
did
Free fall.
it did not fall over. It did not anything. It collapsed on itself,
Yeah,
just like
I'm
a
looking.
controlled demolition.
I'm looking for some of that footage right now. It's real interesting when you see it because there's a couple views that show it from a little bit of a top angle where you see the roof collapsing before the building starts to fall, and
Yeah,
it
and a
if
little.
that man, I mean, it looks like, it looks like it
They,
was brought
they've
down. You
been
know what
and
I
they
mean?
had been working on the towers for several months there beforehand. And if as it's coming down, you see before like where the point of it, the fall rate was at several floors down. You see explosions happening with
Right.
coming out the windows. So there was explosions happening multiple floors down before it got to that
Right.
point.
Yeah,
So it was
you see them popping out the side. One of the other
correct.
things, there was a woman that was on the BBC News that was talking about Tower 7 falling down. She talked about it collapsing before it collapsed. It's like she was given the
Yeah,
update that, hey, guess what? This is fixing to go down. You better
it's going
start.
to happen.
It's going to happen.
It was several minutes before it happened.
Um, Man, here's a pretty interesting video. Let me share this with you real quick. Like, man, free fall speed, my brother. This is so wild.
And I don't know. The engineers said that the architect said that the only way it could is there had to be some kind of controlled demolition. You know, if if they didn't go in and somebody went in and put plant explosives, and because the rate, you know, jet fuel don't burn hot enough to melt
Look at this.
yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, absolute free fall speed, and watch the top of the building. How, you know what I'm
And that's
saying?
building 7 who never got hit.
It
And
never
that's
got
building
touched. It was
never
never touched.
it
You
never
see
got
the
had a few office fires that had been put out by the time it actually fell.
watch it again, Ricky. Watch the top of it. Boom, left side collapses down, and then it folds in from the top. Boom. See that?
Controlled demolition. There's nothing
Controlled
else it
demolition.
can be. It's controlled demolition.
You know,
And
there's
and what did building 7 hold?
right, right.
It held where they were looking for the missing $2.3 trillion of missing money
All that
and much
paperwork was
more.
right there. When you
All the
Google
paperwork.
that, you start talking about that. Um, they immediately discredit that. They're like, well, that's not what he was talking about. They didn't really lose it. They were saying they weren't able to keep up with it. So wait a minute. If I tell you that I can't keep up with it, and I can't tell you where it is, or how it got spent, or where it ended up, or is that not losing it?
I
Am I
mean,
wrong? I mean,
I guess technically they were telling the truth that they didn't lose it because
oh, because they know exactly where that shit went.
yeah. It
Hey,
got smuggled in some country or some kind of crap, so they
have
know
you
where it
been
went.
paying
But
attention to the shopping spree that Zelensky's wife has been on since all this U.S. aid's been coming in?
no, I hadn't paid no attention on that. Oh,
bro.
I take that back. I did see where they were buying all them in cars and
They're
stuff. Is
buying
that?
cars. They've bought like
Are they?
5 fucking
I did see.
mansions, bro.
I
Come
did see
on,
that. There was like
man.
one of them was like the Batmobile, or whatever. The like, I was like, I remember one of the video was talking about. I was like, it's a fucking Batmobile. Yeah, I seen that video.
Crazy,
I
bro.
think on X.
Crazy. And then another thing that stood out to me on the whole September 11th thing. Have you seen the footage of the Pentagon where they're removing uh, allegedly pieces of the aircraft out of the Pentagon? And there are a couple photos taken of what looks like a jet intake wheel that's only like 3 feet in diameter, right? The aircraft that hit that building was what, a 757 or something?
Yeah.
That's how big that wheel is versus an engine wheel this big. Do you know what does have an engine wheel yay big, Mr. Ricky Pike? Do you know what does?
I imagine a Tomahawk.
Cruise missiles, tomahawks, uh, uh, things that go boom that we made, that are not
Yeah.
aircraft to carry people on. I'm saying, bro, come on, man. Then they
Yeah.
talk about the side of
I wasn't talking for the people listening. I wasn't talking about an axe.
the.
It wasn't a Tomahawk axe. I'm talking,
No, no.
Tomahawk cruise missiles.
Yeah. You know, um, there are people that were, have you heard the stories about so where the Pentagon was hit at is right along an intersection of expressway that runs. That's why you could see it as we were driving north, right? But there are a string of hotels just along the other side of the interstate. The story is that when this happened, within moments of this happening, boom, agents are at each one of these places and they are scooping uh, video up. They want all the CCTV footage. You know what I mean? And then with all that footage out there and all those cameras that overlook the Pentagon, you're going to tell me that we're going to get delivered 3 still shots from what looks like an ATM camera? And they're going to come on, bruh.
That was one of the red flags of me asking questions for sure.
Right.
I mean, and then if you're looking at the footage of the effing building, there's a camera sitting right there on the damn roof, like right
Right.
beside where the hole is. There's a effing camera right there. And like, what did that camera see? That camera saw the whole damn thing right
See,
there.
what's
Why
crazy,
can't we see that? But of course, they don't want us to see that.
you see the hole that the plane put in the side of the World Trade Center. And then you see the hole that got put in the Pentagon. And those holes just don't match. You know what I'm saying? Why, dude,
Mm.
like inside that gap right there of this photo that I'm looking at right here on that bottom floor, there are glass windows that are intact in that building, right?
Yeah.
The type we have different types of missiles that punch through concrete, that go through cement before they explode. And for people that don't know,
Bunker busters.
the Pentagon is made up of a series of rings that have gaps in between each of the rings. So you could literally fire something into and through that first ring, and it's not going to blow until it hits further into the building, therefore leaving those windows right here that I'm looking at intact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
Things
bunker
that
buster
make you
rocket.
go,
Exactly.
things.
It was so many things from that day. You know, the effing passport sitting on the ground. Oh, look at this.
Right, you're going to tell me that
The jet
everything has been
fuel burn.
obliterated, but we're going to find the passport of not one, not two, not three, nor four. We're going to find all the passports of all the terrorists. Get the fuck out of here, bruh. Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, the jet fuel burned and caused I beams and steel to turn to liquid, like in a in a foundry, is what
Get out
them
of here.
firefighters and stuff said. It looked like a foundry. There's all kinds of video footage of it with them talking about it, but it didn't burn up some passports.
Have you
Convenient.
seen
What was that word? Convenient.
convenient? convenient. Have you seen the footage or the pictures of the beams at Ground Zero that are cut at a 45
Yes.
degree angle?
Mm-hmm.
Now listen.
They were talking about that because it made it kind of a cross and stuff, and they were trying to push it off. Like, look at this. This is this is uh I they're just trying to spew it. Make you think of it a different way. Think of it a
Right.
religious way or something like that. It's a
Well, yeah, that's how they got to program you, bro.
a beacon of hope right here. This is the cross right here. So it's a beacon of hope of this situation. Blah blah blah. But if you look at it, yeah, the damn thing's cut in half. It's just a smew. And then the only
we're gonna catch a lot of shit for this, right?
oh yeah, I don't care.
I'm just letting you know. I mean, I've survived some cancel attempts. I just want to make sure you're aware.
What my friends say, F them and feed them fish heads.
Fuck them and feed them fish heads, baby. That's a Mississippi saying right there, bro. That's a Mississippi saying for sure.
My old buddy Rooster, he was an old dude he was in his 60s when I was a teenager, and that was his favorite saying.
Let me see if I can find. And then the beams to be immediately shipped overseas.
Everybody has any doubts of what we're saying, though, please.
Google.
Please.
Just look it up, bro. Just look it up.
Look it up and actually do your own research. We want you to research it. We want you to look. Hey, look, check it out.
Ask your own
Are we
questions,
telling a lie?
man. Boom,
we haven't told one yet. We haven't told exaggeration yet. We've only stated facts.
I just found the photo. I'm fixing to show it to you. And what's crazy is it's actually, this beam right here is actually in the museum. Yeah, let me show you this. Here we go.
While you're doing that, just thinking about like all that steel instead of actually towing and
look at that, bro.
And having, yeah, it snapped off. You can see the melted part on top.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that
crazy? You can see the absolute melted part on top. Way it's like I've used oxygen acetylene torches where it cuts metal and yeah.
Right, and the way for people that don't know, and the only reason I know this, I am not a demo expert, but I will tell you that I have watched a lot of Discovery Channel. And when they go to cut these beams, they cut them at an angle so that the building shifts and it cuts, and they cut it at about that angle, man. They use a variety of explosives and det cord, whatever that cable is that wraps around, and what that shit does is immediately singe and melted. Kind of odd, huh? And I believed all this shit when it first came out. I was like, I'm ready to go kill terrorists. Let's go over to Afghanistan and Iraq and through the Middle East, and we're going to go over there and go kill those people. And then I started asking a lot of questions about, wait a minute, who really did this?
Hold up.
Hold up. Man, I mean, it's crazy, bro. And when you look at the social conditioning, or the mental conditioning of an emotional conditioning that the media put us through after all that, man. I mean, Bin Laden's picture was all over every newspaper. Dude, I've got a box in here. God, you know what? I should get that out. I will next time. I have a box of every newspaper for the week after September 11th, from the Commercial Appeal, USA Today, and the New York Times. I've got all three of them. And,
wow.
They've got Bin Laden's picture in there the second day. Boom. And then, you find out some weird inconsistencies about that dude. So you're telling me that Clinton had the ability to drop a tomahawk through his window and didn't?
He was at the White House a few days before it all happened?
Allegedly. There's also a story that he was intercepted in Yemen and was actually taken to a U.S. military installation for dialysis. Have you ever heard that story?
I hadn't heard that one.
Let me see if I can.
I knew he was on dialysis. And that was always, yes, a man who, on dialysis, living in a cave, and every time you seen him, he looked younger. Every time they had footage of him or another video, and it looked like um, it looked like Iron Man 3 video, with the Mandarin and stuff,
Right.
the Manda, all that with it. It's just I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory at the moment. Iron Man 3 pretty much showed what they did right there. They
So
put a puppet right there in front of everybody, and here's the bad guy, and this other guy is the actual bad guy back here. Of
yeah,
course, the
they're
other
gonna.
person.
It's all the misdirection, man.
Oh
So I
yeah,
cannot find the article that I was looking for that talks about him being in Yemen, but it's something that I heard once upon a time and I read once upon a time was that the story was that he was taken in somewhere into Yemen and was in some sort of CIA custody at one point. Um, and he was given dialysis under U.S. care. That's the story that I recall somewhere along the way. It could be complete
well,
bullshit. Who knows? But Google it. Maybe you can find something. If you do, let me know. I remember hearing it. I remember seeing it. I thought, I don't know. I could be full of shit.
which they say he was a CIA asset.
Right,
You
right.
know,
Like what I had heard was that he was selected. And this whole dude is a character. They've created the boogeyman. And if you ask the question, well, why would they do such a thing? Well, let's look at all the legislation that got passed post 9/11 that allows the
the
U.S.
Patriot Act alone.
Bro. Oh
The
my God, this is
Patriot Act
such a good thing.
alone.
We need the Patriot Act to secure us. The U.S. government's going to protect us.
If for temporarily, just for a moment, it will just be for just a short period of time.
20 years
Um,
later.
yeah. Plus,
Right. The ability, like right now, they're spying on us. The government's watching everything that we're doing. They watch you through your
hi
phone. They
government.
watch you through your app. Hi, hey, how's your mom and them?
Yeah, how y'all doing?
um, back in the '60s and '70s, people'd say, I'd never let the U.S. government track me. And now we carry this thing right here around everywhere with us. And then,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about how technology is tied in with the U.S. government, let's look at what Apple did, what Google did, what they did you know, post election to stifle information. Did you know that Google Maps went down the first week of January around the DC and Metro DC area?
Mm-mm.
Google Maps was down. You couldn't navigate throughout the city using Google Maps.
Damn.
It was
No, I
around
didn't
that.
know that.
Yeah, it was the week of that um, event that they had in Washington D.C. What was that called? January 6th.
Oh yeah.
It was 9/11. It was 9/11. If you want to talk about some conspiracies, I could tell you some fun stuff.
We'll
It's
get
all,
there.
it's all a sham, damn it. You know, it, they condition you to hate. And what's crazy is, when you look at the money and you tie the money, Bin Laden, the war in Afghanistan against the Russians, who funded that war? The U.S. did. We
Mhm.
supplied the freaking Afghans, the freedom fighters, to defeat the Russians. So we funded them. We built them. When you look at Iraq, who do you think propped Saddam up? Who do you think propped, these different leaders up across every puppet leader that has fallen throughout the Middle East? We are the ones that put them where they were. And then when they weren't any useful to us anymore, you know,
Exactly.
I don't know,
It,
man.
it happening over and over. It just, you know,
Have you
It's crazy.
followed?
If you really,
It's almost like they intentionally did this to disrupt the entire region, because post 9/11 was the whole, you know, Arab Spring, the fall of all those regimes through North Africa, from Syria to Morocco to Egypt, you know, Libya. I mean,
yeah,
Jesus, they killed Gaddafi, you know.
yeah, all because they didn't want to use the dollar to buy oil.
Right.
But that's another
Dude, so
that's another
Saudi
thing.
today, apparently there was an announcement today that they're talking about. Dude, it's coming. They're gonna pull all their U.S. funds. They're gonna come collect and say, "Hey, you owe us money." You know.
Yeah. If anybody come and said, "Hey, collect now," it's on any of them. You know, like China. China decides they want, "Hey, collect." It's
Have
it's
you?
all as man. It's one. I'm wondering is what will we give them if they do, because that's what China has done all around the region around them to other countries. Like, hey, you owe us all this money. Well, we don't have the. He said, we want it now. Well, we don't have it. Well,
Right.
we'll take your
We'll
harbor right here.
take
We'll take
right.
this wonderful shipping harbor. That's ours now. Okay, you
Right.
can have it because we don't want to fight with you. And they've done that all around in the eastern region over there. And what are they going to do if they decide to pull our card and say, "Hey, what are we going to do?" I, I vote. Give them California. There we go. That's my vote. Let them
Can we
have
just give them the
Cali.
whole West Coast, Oregon, Washington? Just the coastal Washington and Oregon, though. We like the state side, you know.
Yeah,
Just
just to
just cut
cut
the
it
state
off
in
that little
half.
line. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I don't know, man.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, what will they want for like the what is it? Fucking 80 trillion million billions gazillion dollars we owe them right now.
Right?
I
Yeah.
forgot what it
It's
is.
something. It's something
It's up there
ridiculous,
though.
man, and it's going up daily. You know. And no matter what they do tax wise, and try to, no matter who they tax to death, you know, billionaires are gonna pay their share. Shut up. You know, y'all are not. Okay. Um,
They're gonna get paid.
they can't. They
They're
can't.
gonna get their money no matter what.
They're not going to tax us out of the debt that we're in. You know, no matter how much they tax us, we're never going to get out of that debt because these guys can't control what they spend. When you look at all the money right now that we're throwing into fucking you, fuck Ukraine. I hate to be that way, but I don't care about Ukraine, bro. You know, I don't. I don't. When once I found out about the amount of money that Zelensky and his family is spending, and then you see all the videos where he's standing around on the news and he is blown out of his fucking mind. I wonder how much cocaine that dude does a day. You know what I mean? And then when you
Well,
watch
he
the
knows it's just a matter of time before he get killed too with the rest of
oh,
them.
dude, they're gonna Gaddafi the fuck out of him. He's gonna get Clinton. You know, he's gonna get Clinton.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely,
All they want that spot right there beside um because it's right beside Russia.
bro.
That way, that's all it is. They
Hey,
want that spot,
and the
so
only thing
we'll
Putin
give you a
said,
bunch of money, and it's not doing nothing. But it was like every time you've seen that, it's you get bleeding hearts. You get people
right?
that actually give a shit. Like Haiti, when Haiti had all that
You
stuff
know,
terrible happened a long time ago. And all they did was rebuild the tourist section. The other side was
and
still
they took
destroyed.
all that money. They took
Yeah.
all that money. You know, I, if I'm not mistaken, you know what? Let me look this up before I open my mouth on this.
I said none
But
of the money went to the people. It never does. we we as a people have given so much money to so many, like the big charity stuff. The African charity for food, like when We Are the World song came out. I remember, you know, and there's still everybody over there, and it hadn't got no better. So where all that
where
millions
did
and
it
hundreds of
go?
millions of dollars? Where did it go? It didn't go to food.
Right,
If all that
dude.
money went to over there, everybody over there would. If all the money went to all these places, it would be a lot better
So
place than it is.
back in 2016, the BBC ran a story that talked about how much that they raised, and they're saying that international donors for Haiti's recovery totaled some $13.3 billion. Mr. Clinton was the co-chair of the Interim Haiti Recovery Commission. Now, if you know what's currently going on in Haiti as of February of this year, gangs had taken over pretty much the entire part of the island. If I'm not mistaken, their head leader, his name was Barbecue, and he was literally eating the bodies of his enemies. Like
They had footage of that on the news where that one guy, I remember seeing it. It was rough.
I mean, what in
I
the
didn't know what it was at first. You know, it didn't even dawn on you. But then you realize that guy actually reached down and grabbed a hunk of leg meat off of somebody who was just chewing on it. You know, like holy
crazy, bro?
hell!
Oh, here he is. Look, I just Googled barbecue Haiti. Jimmy Cheesier is a Haitian police officer, notorious gang leader known as Barbecue. Barbecue likes his barbecue well done, preferably the leg. I wonder if he likes barbecue sauce or if he likes a dry rub. Am I horrible?
It looked like dry rub when it that one video.
And the thing is like I can't find anything that says that this dude's been taken into custody or anything. But
No, I'm
hey,
sure he has. He's still
but we're
probably
trying
running
to
wild.
save Haiti. But we're trying to save Ukraine,
Yeah, they don't care about it.
bro.
They don't care about none of that. None of those other things. It'll be they don't care about the stuff around here.
Let me see if I can
Hey,
find.
let me ask you this question.
Yeah, go
Has
ahead.
Flint, Michigan ever got water?
Shit, man.
Hell no. They still ain't got no
Hey,
water.
so have you heard about Jackson, Mississippi? About what's going on down there?
Hmm.
So Jackson, Mississippi, apparently had a big water issue down there. Uh, Major pipe issues. Brown water, all kind of weird shit. Here we go. Here's my video of Zelensky all coked out. You want to watch this?
Yeah.
You'll enjoy
This will be
this.
fun.
You'll enjoy this. This is great. Ladies and gentlemen, I now give you President Zelensky. Zelensky, cocaine. Let's make sure you can hear this. Play.
But also those long range
not bring to anything good.
phase of the battle, and that's a very productive conversation that we're having today as well. Good, or largest.
I mean, they call him the cocaine Fuhrer. He don't look very coked out there. He just looks tired. Is this another one?
He's coming down.
Lose people.
Here he goes.
It's so difficult and to lose children. And of course, you see these children are dying or dead. So it's you want to kill Putin at this moment. And of course, all of us, we want it very much. Really drinking something. He's not thinking. For him, it's
Nah, this ain't the video I thought it was. There's another one. Oh, here we go. Look at this
I don't think he blinked the whole time.
Come on, man. Come on. For anybody that's been around drugs, you know what it looks like, and the constant. It's I worked at a strip club for many years. Okay, I know exactly what that looks like. That dude is coked out of his mind.
I believe you.
You're paying
I believe
for that.
it.
You're paying for that, Ricky. I hope you know. Thank you for contributing to somebody's cocaine weekend.
It's somebody's having fun at least while we're all working ourselves to death.
You know,
We're-
I can't afford drugs, but I'm glad that someone can.
Yeah, we can watch him on the news and live through him.
Crazy, man. You know, we know that everything is a sham. September 11th is very questionable about a lot of things that just don't make sense. You know, and after 20 years, we're starting to find out more things. You know, we know that this COVID rollout was a complete sham. Ivermectin, hydrochloroquine. We know that those things worked. Now we know the Zelensky thing is bullshit. We know that more information is coming out about the 2020 election that we're finding out is bullshit. You know, what is next, Ricky? Like, what do you think is going to happen? Because going into this election is going to be wild. You know, what do you think is next for us? What conspiracy are they going to throw at us next?
Aliens. That's what's
uptick,
coming.
a lot of uptick.
Aliens are coming. They're rolling that out right now. They've put it out there. That's why they like, okay, it's okay to talk about it. They got the Congress hearings where they're down there talking about it. They're putting out there. I mean, they've always had a lot of shows, but there's even more shows you can throw a second stick at of UFOs and blah blah blah. No, that's next. They're going back to what Ronald Reagan said, and it's going to take an extraterrestrial force or to bring us all together as one. So they're going to use make believe ET. Not that there's not.
Do you think we're going to
Not
have
that
an
I don't believe
alien
there's possibility.
invasion?
Yeah. Not that there's not possibly real aliens, but they're going to make their own aliens. They're going to sit there and come down and use it. Like, okay, we got to all come together as a one and come together as a one world.
I mean, because you remember the unity that America had after September 11. There was no, you know, I remember one of the most iconic photos that got, in fact, let me see if I can find this. Remember the photo that was taken of the New York police officer? And he's walking out of the ash, and he's this big, burly guy, and his face is white, you know? And it's a black guy, you know, and his face is just covered in white
from
ash,
all the ashes.
right?
Yeah.
And then it shows the people behind him, and their faces are all covered in white ash. And they used that photo as a campaign of unity, right? And there was just so much kumbaya. We love America. We're neighbors. We're gonna go kill the bad guy. And man, how fucking far we have gotten away from that in 23 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You know,
a lot of people woke up to the bullshit. I mean, as part of it, you know, and some of it is just, you know, because it's not the moment of the day. You know, everybody has this, our attention span is got that of a freaking little fish or something, you know,
Right.
a goldfish. It's instantaneous. Oh, wait, look at this. Oh, look, the hot Tui girl. You know, that's all
oh
people.
my God, that's
you know,
all you see right now. Dude, that girl, from
you
what
know,
I
that's all you
understand,
see, and it's okay. It's funny. All right, go on your way. But you see more about that than you are seeing anything else.
right.
You know,
It's a
not that it
distraction,
was,
bro.
not that I believe like she was a plan or nothing like that. They take advantage of anything. They can use. Oh, okay, look at this. This is, and if something going viral, they reach yes and push it to the fucking moon because hey, it's a distraction. Everything, all the sports. I mean, I love sports. I love all that stuff. I've played every sport there is at one time or another, either, you know, on a team or just playing it for fun.
Right.
But all that is a distraction, just like Rome.
Do you watch
Different minds off stuff.
pro sports?
It's not like I used to. If it's on TV, I'm watching. I used to be like, you know, watch. Especially, you know, like, especially back in the day when you had Barkley and you know, Jordan and all them. That's probably the last few times I was really, you know. Then when the Grizzlies came to Memphis, I started watching the Grizzlies real hard.
Right.
I stopped for a little bit, but
The more I think, I'm looking through these pictures, looking for that it was an iconic photo. I remember they shared it all over the place back then. But the more I think
yeah,
about it, I don't think he was a police officer. I think he was a fireman.
I think he was a fireman
I think he
too.
was a
Thinking about it,
firefighter. But I remember everybody's face was covered in ash, and they used that photo to create this like a kumbaya campaign of pro America. Look at us together. We're all the same. And now all you see is just constant barrage of media about how divided we are.
and ways to divide us more. It's as soon as they can grasp onto any story, um,
Right.
and God, if of anything, whatever they can, if it can divide, they'll that's what they'll push out the first thing and quick as soon as they can, and it's sad.
That's the one thing that I really appreciate about our community, about the combat sports community. It's hard to divide us. For the most part, the people that I meet in this community, we're all alpha males that are trying to do our best for our family. We're all trying to get ahead. We're all trying to learn. We're trying to teach each other, and we're all there for each other. You know what I mean? And there's no race, religion. I mean, we work out with black guys, Mexican guys, pale white guys, cripple guys, Muslim guys, Christian guys, preacher guys, drug dealer guys, law enforcement guy. I mean, the range of people and personality in the combat sports community covers every
Mm-hmm.
aspect of every box that I think you could check.
Yeah, I talked about that on that Tokyo Jiu Jitsu podcast, and I brought that thing up because there's once you step on the mat, there's no political affiliations, there's no religious affiliations, there's none of that. It's everybody there to try and make each other better, and that's
Right.
it. And everybody come together as one. It don't matter about it don't matter about race. It don't matter about creed. For
Right.
most, you got small pockets of ignorant,
Oh, there's
no
idiots
matter where
everywhere,
you
bro.
go.
Yeah.
But for the majority of the martial arts community, you have that um, open door. Anybody and everybody. If you want to learn, you learn. And that's the beauty of it. And truly, if the world would do that and come out to and see it more, be like that more, it'd be a better place. But people want to get on there and watch the news and see it. Well, and over. You look on Facebook and it's the worst on them town fucking group pages.
Oh,
God help them
yeah.
all.
Dude,
And there's
the internet
bickering.
is the biggest cesspool of garbage. And if you just want to know how people take the internet way too serious, okay? If you want to know how much of a cesspool the internet is, jump on any one of the LA live high-speed pursuit videos and read the fucking comments, okay? First of all, if they were, let's just say, if they were Caucasian people saying the things that these people say about these people driving, bro, look, there would be a riot all over America. It is so unhinged. It's comical. I laugh so hard when I watch this stuff because it just shows you how just smut garbage people are when they hide behind a keyboard. You know what I mean? And it's comical. It's funny.
People are 10 feet tall and bulletproof behind this damn screen and behind their phone. And, and I told a story, it was, it's a local business, and I ain't gonna say the names of the stuff, but it was about a dress code. They didn't want to wear yoga pants. They didn't want the girls wearing yoga pants to work. That was part of the dress code.
Right.
And they had a big old up to do, and they had a fucking protest out front about yoga pants. And they had four people out there standing out there in fucking yoga pants. This one poor dude, if he hears this shit, I'm sorry, but I know you were there. I know you were there because your wife made you be there. I can see in your eyes. He had fucking yoga pants on. holding a fucking baby. And I went in to a restaurant right there and got me something to eat. I come back out and it started raining on them. And they started packing up, and I busted out laughing. I
That ain't
laughed
no
at them so
protest,
fucking
bro.
hard. Man, I'm like, you know, but if you see it on the news, you'll see them like that. They're like, there's a protest, and they'll gather all of 8 people right there together and make it look like it's something. But when you actually zoom out, there's nobody there. There's 5 people. That's not, like you said, that's not a protest. That's
Right.
just a bunch of fucking people that have no better things to do in their fucking life.
Have you been
That's not a
to?
protest. When you have, a rally, like if you have like Trump up there in New York and just fucking people waiting for hours to get in, that's a coming together or something like that. But you got 4 people and in the news, like, look, there's a protest about this right here, just to get people riled up and fighting and arguing with each other. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Isn't it
It
crazy
don't
how
make sense.
the media can paint such a little picture and use such a small image or a small segment of something and just blow it wide open and make so many people, like when people see the hate of 100 people online, all these keyboard warriors type it out, oh my god, there's so many people upset. It's 100 fucking people out of 330 million. Who gives
Yeah.
a fuck about their feelings?
I got a picture. I'll have to find it and send it to you. It's the truth on media. Like it's a picture of somebody's running from somebody else,
Right. Oh yeah,
but the way their foot looks like the person's stabbing the
Yep.
other person.
You are exactly right. It's
It's
and
like,
it's how they paint the picture.
yeah,
I grew up I grew up backwoods, poor Arkansas, moved to Mississippi when I was like 12 years old. Grew up as an Arkansas Democrat, right? And I voted Democrat through 08 through 12. When 2016 rolled around, I did not vote. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I definitely was not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I had a lot of issues with Obama's presidency. Halfway through his second presidency, I started asking myself why I voted for him. The whole red line and Syria thing that came and went, and we didn't do anything over there after those people gassed their own fucking people and killed them. I started asking a lot of questions. So I was a corporate master trainer for the company that I worked for, and I was going through a program at work called the Principles of Adult Learning that broke down some basic principles when you're teaching other adults so that everybody picks up the message, because not everybody learns the same way. So you've got to structure your message in a variety of different ways so that everybody kind of grasps a piece of your message, and that's how you get the common core of people on board with what you're trying to sell. So these principles of adult learning: recency, relevancy, repetition. Um, you're trying to relate how these different things apply to you as an individual in your life, right? So I'm going through this program, and as I'm learning these different principles, at the same time, I'm watching a documentary on TV about propaganda. These two worlds collided like you wouldn't believe. And I had like this, holy shit, I've been lied to kind of feeling. And at the same time, that night was the night the PP tape story broke about Donald Trump hiring hookers to piss in the bed that allegedly the Obamas slept in. And as soon as I heard the story, I was like, this is bullshit. It's propaganda. It's meant to rile people up. Then you learn, and the media ran with it just days before the election, right? Then you learn that whole story was part of the Steele dossier, and man, the Steele dossier's got all this evidence against Donald Trump. And then you learn that shit was fake. Then you learn the opponent, Hillary Clinton, her campaign paid for this fake fucking information to be delivered. What? And again, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Donald Trump the first time, right? So I just sat back and I spent 6 months just watching, paying attention to to the rhetoric that CNN was putting out. I still watch The Daily Show. I watch The Daily Show every night. You know, Jon Stewart was my fucking hero. Colbert, I couldn't wait to watch Stephen Colbert every night, you know? And I had this awakening, man, and I started realizing that Hollywood and the news media really is nothing but an extension, I believe, of the US government, and it's part of their propaganda wing to make us believe, feel, desensitize us, to put theories into our mind, to give us ideas. You know, I believe they're always going to tell us what they're going to do before they do it, through their movies, through the media, the things that they put out. And then all of a sudden the shit happens and you're already conditioned to it because you've already seen it before. You know, that's just, that's my rant. I'm done. I'm going to wait for the feds to come knock on my door now.
I mean, truly, I mean, if 2016 election didn't show anybody anything, I mean, it showed on FUBAR Bernie, like the popular vote.
Oh, they fucked Bernie
I think
Sanders like
Bernie would have won.
He would have won.
Bernie
He would have fucking
won.
won. Dude.
Bernie would have won.
Who do you
There's
think
no doubt in my
sabotaged him?
mind.
Who sabotaged him?
The Democratic Party sabotaged them.
The Hillary
the bad
Clinton
thing, after it
campaign.
all said, after they sit there and turn around afterwards, like there was a bunch of big name Democrats, and like they were throwing at it like y'all are fucking stupid. Y'all did all this right here and threw all this crap down, and you had Bernie. Everybody had the popular vote, everything, all they wanted, but you shoved Hillary down their throat, and you lost because it's your fault. You gave somebody with so much baggage. There's so much bad negative connotation with her name. She over here having hot sauce bottles in her bag when she goes to black radio stations for, you know, look, I got my hot sauce in my bag, you know, it's just as bad as, you know, Biden over here. Well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. You know, I'm like, they are so just blinded of bull. And then when you see so many people turn their back on the Democratic Party, you know, that's been a Democrat forever. They're like, well, there's something wrong with you. And like, no, there's something wrong there that you straight up butchered the people's vote. They wanted this person, y'all gave it to another person, and that's the reason. And then you got Donald Trump for 4 years.
I got something for
you because
you
of that.
I got something for you.
That's what I was telling people before, like even before it came all the way down to the nominee stuff. I knew Obama was going to. Once they brought him out and he was talking such a good story and talking everything, I was like, he's going to be the one.
Let me tell you,
I said he's going to win.
And
people were like, no, you're full of it, Ricky. You're full. I was like, no. I was like, he's going to win.
Yep. I gave my wife such a hard time because when we went and voted, I voted. I was so proud to vote for Obama. Like I cried the night he won. I was so just overcome with emotion, and I was so mad at my wife because she voted for Romney at the time, and I was like, "Well, damn, we could have just stayed home." I was just playing with it. She fucking got so mad at me, but I'm like, "We could have just stayed home," you know. And you just, it's so crazy how I look at his presidency now after I've learned kind of what I've learned, and I'm like, man, how did you help? You know, what did you do?
He didn't help the communities he said he would. But if you look back and you start looking on his and Romney's, I was already open-minded and I was already asking questions way before then. But because you looking at that, the same people were backing both of them, the same banks, the same companies. So it didn't, I was like, and they really wanted the same thing.
Right.
You had Obamacare and then you had Romney Care. Which one's fucking different? Nothing. There's no difference. It was the same person. One person, they were the same people. That was it. So either way, you're going to get the same policies, the same bullshit, no matter which one you voted for, you know. But they put in Obama because in my personal opinion, is to help divide the country more, because there are a lot of ignorant people that would, well, they're getting mad because of his race,
Right.
and that's the truth. They did that. If they put Romney in, it wouldn't have divided the country as much.
Right. Do you think that Joe Biden is going to stay on the ticket? Do you think he's going to make the ticket?
No,
No, they're going. Who's going to replace him? So
that one,
Kamala has to stay on the ticket because of the fundraising, right? All the money that's been taken in for the Biden and Harris campaign, that money cannot be transferred to two other candidates. Kamala has to stay on that ticket for that money to still be in play. So that means that Biden gets replaced, and I don't see them Article 25ing him, pulling him out for Kamala to take a short stint before the election. I think it'll stay the way that it is, and then right before the election, he'll dip out and somebody else will run.
they don't dip him out, but I he's if you notice lately, for the last 3.5 years, it's pretty much been like all like Saturday Night Live and on the news and the late shows. They really hadn't really fucked with Biden. They really hadn't
in
made
the
fun of
last
him.
week, they
But
have come for him.
last couple of weeks, it's like they have tripled down. You had who come out? It was Julie Roberts
Oh yeah, the different actors. Yeah, everybody's. You need
come
to
out, but he
step down.
was
George
saying that,
Clooney.
George Clooney, yeah, George
Who
Clooney
gives a
just
fuck about what George
raised.
Clooney has to say?
But the thing I think is interesting is on that, which is in my mind is the money wise, is George Clooney. George Clooney just was in a fundraiser raising millions of dollars for Biden, and then 2 days later comes out and said the same thing. Oh, he's got no chance of winning. So if you really believe that, why were you trying to raise money for him?
It's because it doesn't matter if it's him. They're raising money for the establishment.
Right. So they're raising money for the Democratic ticket.
Let me ask you a
And
question.
so
Are you a fan of John Cena? Do you like John Cena?
I liked him as a wrestler. I think the more I get, more my brain gets more involved, the more I'm looking at stuff. I think he sold out.
I do too. Did you see the
I think he
video?
sold out when he was doing that whole naked stuff, or and especially after what Cat Williams, I've heard it
Bro.
before that, but especially with Cat Williams come out, you got to do certain things. Okay, if you want to pay your dues,
Right.
and if you gotta dress as a woman, or you gotta do a gay thing, or you gotta be naked, and he's over here. What was the point of that? That was just stupid. And
Yeah,
so I mean,
I think he's
it's one of them things. He sold out. That was his way of getting into the big boys club. He
I
still
saw the
ain't,
video of him. What bothered me about his deal was I saw the video of him apologizing to China for
for a
for
couple of
make
years ago.
yeah for making a statement that Taiwan was a country. All he did was say, well, yeah, he identified that Taiwan was its own nation, and then he has to go on TV and not only apologize but do it in Chinese, and can't he's speaking the national language when he apologizes. Come on, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, that's kind of strange, kind of odd there. I don't know, man. I think a lot of these dudes are bought out, Um,
I think most of the superstars. Now, the more I look into it, I think most of the superstars, like the superstars, the ones that's been making movies for years and years and years, all of them are. And I
it's a
hate it.
small
I
club.
hate I
It's a
had that.
small club.
I, I hate I had that thought process because but there's so many great actors that you don't get to see no more. I don't see that person no more. I don't see that person no more.
Mel
But you
Gibson.
see the same people making the same, making movies, all the time. It's they're just. I hate to think that way, but it makes sense. They use in the movies to push their propaganda and push this and push that, and of course, there's a distraction on top of that. And I love watching movies. Hell, I got probably I don't know how many I got on the wall in the living room. I love watching movies,
Right.
but at the end of the day, like I said, the more I research, the more I look, the more I see. You know,
I
it's
mean, the U.S. government has a Hollywood budget. They have money that has a line item that is allocated for that. You know, I mean, when we do these displays of American patriotism at a football game or a baseball game, and we have a flyover, the U.S. government pays for that. You know, the government is who reached out to them and said, "Hey, we want you to start doing these flyovers." You know, they're paying for that. You know,
yeah. I mean, they've been doing it. I mean, you think about since back to all the way back to World War I and World War II. You know, like they didn't want to get into it,
right.
but they had to. They had to use propaganda and use that to get people on board. And on every war, you gotta touch somebody, and you know it's they're using. If you watch old TV shows and stuff, if you watch, they used to have the old commercials on it. They've been doing it for 100 years now or longer. It's it's crazy. Well, actually, I guess longer now. Hell, it's 24. So
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
they've been doing it for over 100 years. Is using the propaganda machine to push the public thought on the direction they want them to be at.
where are you on the whole? Like, do you think like that the Rothschild family is the pinnacle of the hierarchy, or do you think that there are people above that level, or do you think that family is pretty much calling the shots for the shit that goes on globally?
Hmm. It's a possibility. There's one above them. There's something above them.
Right.
I mean, because they still, everything being in secret and not letting stuff come out. I think there's something above them. Now they're powerful. I mean, you look at and a lot of them. A lot of the like the Rothschilds and stuff. They funded both sides of a lot of the wars all the way back in the 1800s and
Yeah,
stuff.
because that makes
They're
money,
funding
bro.
wars, both sides of the wars. They were so, and that's just you know it's common knowledge if you look it up. That um, it's crazy to think about that. That's what built their fortune. And then you look at um, like you watch that series on U.S. History had it on for all the building of America, all them big boys there, and all the stuff they have in effect. It's crazy how much pull just a few individuals really had on shaping everything going on, and they were dirty and and drove people out of business to steal their shit and whatever they could do so they could have the power. Um, and that's the reason we have a lot of stuff that we have now. Hell, it's people pushing like electric cars right now. Fuck, they had electric cars in 1910.
Bro, let me tell you, I have
They had
found.
electric cars, and when they first come out, electric cars was running like 100, 110 miles radius. They were doing that in 1910.
Dude, let me tell you,
That's
the
you
technology,
know,
we think that technology has advanced now. It's not. Technology is actually dumbed down now. My washer, I'm sorry, my dishwasher in there and my stove in there were installed in this home in like 1978. No joke. This stuff is avocado green straight out of 1970, and it works like it's
nice.
brand freaking new. In my rental property in the last 10 years, I've been through two stoves and another dishwasher. All right. So actually, two dishwashers and three stoves. It seems like the newer stuff is built to where the shit's going to wear out after 8 or 10 years, or sometimes 5. You know what I mean? Where this older stuff that was built seems like it was built to last. Now it seems like the stuff
It
that you buy
was.
is built to fail. You know?
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of the companies. That's why a lot of them went under, because a lot of the older companies, they got bought out because, yeah, they last forever. You couldn't get that resale. You have to be able to have somebody come back and buy again. And if your shit's still working, hell, especially on big ticket items, well, I ain't gonna buy it again if I already got it. It's working good.
Right.
We, a lot of people nowadays, well, I'm gonna change the way my house looks, so I'm gonna buy new appliances and blah blah blah. Back in the day, they weren't doing that as much. Hey, that shit worked. It worked, and we're gonna keep it going until it don't, and then we're gonna work on it and make it work again and keep on going. Like the old everything worked better. It really did.
Crazy.
But yeah, we had the technology to do so much. It's like they said, we had the technology to go to the moon, and we don't. They keep saying we don't have it now.
Do you think we went to the moon?
I don't know. They get the movie. They got the movie out showing the propaganda of.
I think they faked it,
They
bro.
might have. Now I'm kind of torn on it. I'm 50-50, to be honest. We might have, but the footage we have is
It's
fucking
fake.
fake.
It's fake.
The footage we have is fake. There's
Neil
no doubt.
Armstrong
There's
went
no
on.
doubt the footage we have is fake. They might have went, and I think they might have found something that maybe they didn't want to find.
Right.
But there's just too much stuff. The footprints on the moon and the way the boots are, it didn't even match. It was just too many. There's too many inconsistencies of that.
Have you ever seen the
that
space
video
station?
footage is real?
Let me ask you this: have you seen the questionable space station footage? All right, here we go.
I'm not saying I'm a flat earther or nothing like that, but I just like said that right there. This the footage and stuff. It just, and the more you look into it over time,
let's see here.
I believe it was propaganda to build us up that we were better,
right?
Because the Russians were winning. The Russians were winning the race.
Yeah, they were.
They were beating us, and that's the reason we, and even with all them Germans we had brought over here, and all them Nazis to help us out, we still was losing the race.
Right.
Operation Paperclip.
Oh yeah. Let's see if I can find
I was watching a video on that. I was watching a video on that today. Like, a lot of people don't realize like how many, it was said that what they would do, like if they seen when they were interviewing people, they would come up to a file, and they said if they knew that like it would get red flagged, they would put a paper clip on it, and that paper clip meant that they need to whitewash it.
Ooh,
they need to wash
loud.
it.
Oh my God, what happened here? Let me mute this. Hold on, Jesus, what happened?
I don't know.
Could you hear that?
I couldn't hear it.
Oh my God, it was so loud. I pulled up.
I could hear it on me.
Thank God, I pulled up this. I'm looking for this particular space station video that looks like it's shot on a green screen. Space station.
I mean, most of the footage that they show on TV is all the stuff that they show is, they don't show actual footage. They really don't. They always show. They show where they made a video. You can tell it's a video. They don't never show any actual.
Right. Yeah, dude. There's it doesn't make sense. Like I've seen video of these guys doing flips where it looks like they're grabbing a wire on the side of them. I've seen other video where it looks like there's a mouse running around on the rocket booster. There's just some questionable. And my thing is if one little thing I see is questionable, it makes me go, damn, that doesn't look right. It makes me go, what else doesn't look right that I just ain't quite caught yet? And then it makes me start going down one of them Twitter or Google rabbit holes, and I start Googling information till 5 o'clock in the morning,
Oh, I understand. Yeah. it's a disease.
So have you heard the story?
know,
Have you heard the story? You know, there are several places in the Grand Canyon that are completely off limits, right? And there's some that are actually guarded by military personnel. You aware of that?
no, I didn't know that.
So the story is in the Grand Canyon is that there are Egyptian style hieroglyphs and um, structures that have been found along different regions of the Grand Canyon. I've never seen any.
I did hear that.
I've never seen any
I had heard about the
photos of them.
Egyptians. Uh,
Bro, I'll tell you, there's
if
a
I
place
have, I
in.
don't remember.
Check this out.
Yeah,
Let me tell you this real quick. There's a place in southern Utah. It's called Honeycomb Mountain, right? It's on this national trail there called the Paiute Trail in Fish Lake National Forest. Bro, if this mountain ain't a pyramid, like when you see it with your own eyes, it's got the 3-point structure. I'm sorry, check that. It's got of a pyramid that has 4 sides. It's got 3 sides of it, and then the other side goes back into a plateau. Dude, it's the craziest looking thing I have ever seen. I took my drone up and flew my drone around it and kind of looked at it. And I'm just like, man, that kind of looks like a pyramid, you know. And then when you see this footage and these pictures of these old pyramids before they were cleared out in like Mexico and stuff, before they actually cleaned the dirt and
yeah,
rock and shit up, I'm like, man, I want to get up in there and hike through there and find out what the hell that is, you know. Um, I,
exactly. Like a lot of people, that's what they say. They're like, man, well, that's how they disregard it. Well, it don't look nothing. It's it's dirt, whatever. Like all them pyramids, especially down in Mexico, all those pyramids down there would look like that's all it looked like with trees and dirt and covered for hundreds of years. Is and there's still pyramids and stuff and structures down in there. I mean, you had to cut most of the rainforest off, part of it to see a lot of it. And a
right.
lot of the clearing of the rainforest now is they're finding more and more ancient structures because of that,
Right.
because they're clearing so much
Hey,
cutting.
here you go, little cousin. I got something for you. I got something I want to share with you because occasionally
All
I
right.
finally found my video. Oh, here we go.
I'm Dajijan. I'm the commander.
See the bottle of water right here?
Good
I mean, the
afternoon.
glass of water.
My name is Ye Guangfu.
You ever see water like that in space just hang out there?
Hi. Good afternoon, all the students.
Kind of wild, ain't it?
I'm Dajijan. I'm
See?
the commander.
Bottle of water water just hanging
afternoon.
out there.
My name is
Everything's fine.
It's magnetic.
You
It's
know,
magnetic water.
let's see.
Going to learn from that, and we're going to incorporate
No,
new
that's not what I'm
processes.
looking for. There's another video where the girl's hair looks really, really, really fake. Of course, I can't find it now that I'm looking for it. Damn it. Let me go ahead and just get out of here.
I was just thinking on propaganda and crap, and just like we had. Did you know that Did you know they made a car out of hemp?
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Like engine and
Ford.
everything?
The body.
Oh, really?
The whole. Yes, Ford did. But they were going towards, that's what the first flags, of course, was made with hemp.
The Constitution is
and they were
written on hemp.
And the Constitution was written on hemp. But all the lumber companies was they were worried that they weren't going to get as much sales, so that's when they turned around and stopped hemp from being so popular. They actually demonized it. And then after that, all you had was, then you had the big trees then.
Right. Well,
in
2018, the United States Farm Bill was signed, and that made hemp legal again. So now, unfortunately, the side effect of that is now every gas station is filled with Delta 8, Delta 10, THC, Z, Q, what the fuck ever fake. Personally, man, listen, people, don't take the stuff. Don't use a synthetic oil. You know, you don't know what these people are putting in it, man. And
No, I mean you're for sure risking whatever they decide they're going to put in there that day.
right, you know, if you're gonna smoke weed and ingest THC, do it like a man, or a woman, or a man that's never mind. Yeah, stay away from the oil, man. It's bad news for you. You know, I don't know, man. You know, and personally, I don't think marijuana should be, you know, and so I don't know if you saw, but marijuana was actually reclassified a couple weeks ago. Not a couple weeks, a couple months ago.
No, I didn't see that. They should have legalized it a long time ago. I mean, me personally, I've never smoked a day in my
All right, so
life.
here it is. Here it is. You ready for
But
this?
you know,
You ready for this winning moment? This winning
Huh.
moment from the Biden administration? Because we need to recognize when he does something good. And let's talk about what he did good. What he did on May 16th was he signed in to where they rescheduled it from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug, right? So you think to yourself, wow, that is really good. So instead of just declassifying it, they put it as a Schedule 3 drug. Now, let's talk about some of the things that are Schedule 3 drugs. Tylenol with codeine doesn't seem too bad. Testosterone doesn't seem too bad. Motherfucking ketamine. What? You know, no, weed is not ketamine, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, weed should be completely declassified, decriminalized altogether. You know,
Well,
I am a THC user. I use a variety of. I've got a cream that I use on my wrist and on my hand. You know, and if I don't ingest THC on a weekly basis, brother man's feet cramp like you would not believe, thanks to the injuries that I have. And I am an advocate of legalization. So you take that for what you do
well,
with it.
and the only ones that are stopping it are the police laborers, of course, the privately owned prisons, the ones that own
Right.
them, and big pharma.
Dude, I'm gonna tell
All
you,
the pharmacy,
the prison
you
system
know,
is
and that because they know if you turn around and you have something natural, you're going to take it, other than taking all their drugs that has a side effect to that. You got to take more drugs for another side effect.
right.
You know, you watching the commercials like this could cause hemorrhaging from the brain and a heart attack, and
Why don't they just
you
start out
might
with
die.
death? Why don't they just start out with death first? You know, you may
And it's
develop a
for a
rash.
freaking,
You know,
and it's for for something stupid,
and then you got to take this medication to counteract this medication's effects. Well, then you got to take this
right.
medication to counteract these two medication effects. Come on, man, get out of here, bro. You know, like my mom,
And
man.
these might not work together. You know, you might have a allergic reaction between these two because they're
Stop
working
taking
together.
this immediately.
Just throwing shit at you. And like, come on,
You know, the guy,
it's a
hey,
racket.
listen, it's so funny because at the end of those commercials, when you have the dude that rattles off all the shit that could possibly go wrong after taking the medicine, he reminds me of the micro racer guy. You know, do you want fast cars? Fast cars, you know, and may cause death. You know, that's my that's the micro machine guy. That's him reading the side effects. You know,
I mean, you're trying to do it so fast, or you don't listen to it. You don't hear, oh, what did he say? You know, and
we got 30 seconds to
especially
tell
for-
everybody what can go wrong. What can go wrong? Everything. Put it all in there. Don't forget to tell them they can die too.
and like, well, we told them, so our hands are washed. We're good because we told them that they could, and it's, oh my God,
I had to mute my mic. I choked myself
or a
up.
sunburn or some shit.
Right.
You know, die of heart attack because of a sunburn because you took this medicine and that medicine and this. Man, get out of here.
You know what? Like you know, like after my motorcycle accident, they put me on so much medication you would not believe. I was on Darvocet, Percocet. I went through Loratab, oxycodone, Oxycontin. I mean, at one point, dude, they were hitting me in my hip with freaking morphine on the regular, you know. Um,
Mhm.
and it of course, pain medication screws up your entire digestive tract. You get to where you can't eat, you can't shit, you can't, you know, function. Your body hurts from the drugs you're taking, you know. Um, and I went to my doctor and I was just like, bro, I'm like, listen, I can't do this stuff anymore. And he goes, bro, you need a weed hookup. And I'm like, huh? You need a weed hookup. And I was like, we've smoked weed every day since then, you know. Yeah,
I don't know. That stuff scares me. Like I remember, I don't take pain medicine. I
right,
just kind of I deal with shit. But
right.
I had an allergic reaction at one time, and I mean I remember I took some Vicodin first time ever. And
Whoa,
I remember
yeah.
my buddy was like, "Man, I can't believe you're still walking around." I was like, "I don't know, maybe I got a tolerance to it." Man, I laid down and it felt like a effing cloud hit me, and I slept for like 15 hours straight.
So it's
And
crazy because
I
that
remember
drug
that.
has two effects on people. It can either take you completely down and you'll want to go to sleep, or depending on how the chemistry in your brain is, it'll speed you up and make you want to bounce off the fucking walls. So depending on how your chemistry in your body is, you're going to go one way or the other. It's such a weird drug.
Uh,
Continue. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I passed out. No, you're good. I passed out, and then I remember, um, I remember a friend of mine that they're like, "What are you going to do with the prescription?" I was like, "Hell, I can't even function on this stuff. I don't want this shit. I'm good. And I like now, so I filled my script and gave it to them, so they could have it, whatever. But I
Yeah.
was like, my dad and heavy pain pills, like, yeah, it knocks me in the dirt. So I'm like, I don't want to take it.
Like, bro,
I
I
don't want
won't
to get
even
used to
take
it.
Tylenol. I won't even take Tylenol.
It's rare. I might take a leave once a blue moon, and that's about it.
Naproxen is what I do take if I have to take something. So yeah, leave is
I take
naproxen.
it, but I try not to take anything. I was for one time. Like I was taking Tylenol PMs to go to sleep, and then I got used to them. Then I went to Advil PMs to go to sleep, and then I'm like, I'm gonna die. I can't keep doing this. There's something's gonna happen to me, and then I just stop. I just cut all that out. I'm like, I just have to make myself go to sleep, and
Right.
I'm good now. But for a little while, I was like, I could not go to sleep without taking some medicine. Now it's just I'm good. If I'm having a little trouble
Acetaminophen.
going to sleep, I'll take the Epsom salt with that sleepy time,
Right.
with that melatonin in it. I sit there and take a good hot bath and chill, and yeah, I'm done.
So one thing that I came across about a year ago, man, I came across a story that talked about acetaminophen, right, which is the main ingredient in Tylenol. And the story was it talked about all the people that have issues with various drugs and medications. The pills that you take, depending on what kind of drug it is, they use acetaminophen as the compound that holds it all together. So when you take like an oxycodone or a Percocet or a Darvocet or something like that, it's actually the the other compound, the acetaminophen, is what fucks everybody up apparently. And apparently that drug is the drug that's damaging everybody's kidneys. You know, it's the acetaminophen and everything that you take. You know, um, again, I don't know how true that is. It's just shit that I hear. It's stuff that I've read. I don't want anybody coming back at
Rumor
me.
has it.
Rumor has it.
Yeah,
You know,
rumor has
during
it.
the whole COVID thing, and it's funny too because I saved some of the messages on my Facebook page because it's just comical. Because when I came out and was like, hey, wait a minute. There are these doctors down in Brazil that are talking about hydroxychloroquine and talking about ivermectin. Dude, the people just came out the fucking woodwork. Are you a doctor? Where did you get your fucking MD degree from? What do you know about internal medicine? I'm like, well, these guys are doing a study down there and have had 1,600 patients, and their data shows this. Bro, they came at me, you know, why don't you take the dicks out of your mouth and stick to, and it's like, whoa, you fucking weirdos, man. I mean, people are just fucking nuts online, man. I'm like, where are you? I mean, some of these people are fucking insane. You know, and then they say some shitty shit like that and immediately fucking block you. You know, and it's like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there were so many people like with the ivermectin or how the hell did he say that?
ivermectin, yeah.
Yeah, it won a Nobel Peace Prize
Right.
for helping people,
Oh,
and they're like, "Well, it's dog dewormer." I'm like, "There's two different ones." I was like, "Just because the news is telling you some shit, don't mean it." And now, like a couple of years later, what was that jackass's name? I seen him on doing an interview, and
yeah,
he's like,
fucking Chris
"Well,
Cuomo. They roasted
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
ass,
Come
bro.
on, yeah. They fucking flamed his ass to hell because he was like, "Well, I'm taking it now, so it's okay." Like, well, why don't you apologize?
He
What
goes,
do I need to
well, you
apologize
know, in
for?
the context that I was using it, I really don't think I need to apologize. Shut up, you were wrong. So listen, this is I found that message. Like I said, I saved this stuff. Can you read that, or is it backwards?
No, it's not backwards.
Stick to shoving dicks in your face, or whatever he says. You know what I mean?
Mouth and ass are not science. You
Yeah.
fucking ugly,
Stick
stupid.
to shoving dicks in your mouth and ass, not science. You fucking ugly, stupid piece of shit, dumb cunt. Now listen, I can read hate mail messages from people because I have lots of them. In case you don't know my past, I've pissed a lot of people off a lot of times over the years, and it's truly, truly funny. Some of this. Oh, bro, man, I forgot some of this stuff is here.
We
Wow.
we had the company I used to work for. Hell, it had one of the president come out and at one of our back shop little Christmas parties and said he apologized. He just thought it was badder than it was, and he apologized for all the extreme
Right.
measures. Man, we had people bleaching their fucking dash. I ain't gonna say no names or like that, but one of the persons there was bleaching their fucking dash every day,
Disinfecting it.
like
Yeah,
what,
they were
on an
scared.
$80,000 truck.
They were
I'm
terrified.
like, what the hell?
You know.
He was like, he told me, he said, well, I'm tired of eating fucking ham sandwiches every day. I said, well, fucking don't eat them.
Right.
He was like, well, I'm worried about. I said, do you want me to really fuck you up? Because you think about it, people hands have been there all the way through the whole process, everywhere.
Right.
If there's hands somewhere in the vegetables, there's hands on all the kind of there's somewhere that there's a potential of hands touching every bit of your food everywhere you go and every spot.
Right.
So if you're worried about that, and if you go to a restaurant, if you worry about that, I don't know what to tell you. You just don't. I mean, you just can't think about it. You start thinking about, well, all the way down the line. I know people that used to work at Pick Sweet and said they won't buy a bag of Pick Sweet vegetables to save their life
Right.
because they seen how terrible it was.
You know, man, when the COVID thing first happened, I was like for the first 2 weeks, I remember I was 4 months into my brand new job. I was traveling all over the country, and I remember walking through Hartsfield Airport in Atlanta. And it's one of the busiest airports in the world. And I was there to do some training that week. And we only did 2 days of our 4-day program because we were immediately canceling training programs that we had planned for like the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So we're shutting all this stuff down. And I'm like, damn, man, I'm fixing to lose my job. So I fly home. I'm home for like a week. I wasn't furloughed yet. I was they flew me home and I worked for 2 weeks from home. And during that 2 weeks from home, I didn't really leave my house very much. I went to the grocery store, I didn't do much, and then I got laid off from work, and then everything shut down, and they were like 2 weeks to stop the spread. So I spent my 2 weeks in my house, and I didn't go anywhere like they said. And after that, I was like, well, I ain't dead. God ain't come got me yet. Man, I'm going to start doing shit. So about a week after that, I got my official layoff notice from work that I was going to be unemployed. And they were giving me pay for 9 months. So I was like, fuck. All right, let's go have some fun. And I started road tripping cross country. And it was wild because when you got out of the South and you got West, the demeanor of people changed. It's like it was people around me, bro, I burned 20-year friendships over ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. People that would never talk to me again because I was like, guys, here's the data, you're wrong. And they fucking just wrote me off. So there's this whole core group of people in Memphis, which is a mostly liberal, Democrat-based population and mindset here. And these people were freaked out. Let me tell you something. As soon as I got to Oklahoma, the entire mindset was, I mean, I didn't even get to Oklahoma. I got halfway through Arkansas. As soon as I got on the other side of Little Rock, people changed. When I got to Colorado, when I got to New Mexico, when I got to the Dakotas, bro, it was business as usual out there. You know, everything here in this Democrat run base. And then I started looking around and noticing they figured out how to scare these people into submission. You know, they tried,
Mhm.
you know, over the years, if you've paid attention to the different hashtag campaigns, the Occupy Wall Street, the Occupy movement, the We Are 99 campaign, these different social media campaigns that they tried, they've not really been able to get anything to stick. They got Black Lives Matter to stick. And then a lot of people figured out how much of a sham that it was, and these people weren't really doing what they say they were going to do, and people fell apart with it. And they were like, well, how do we get the population next? Let's go after the hypochondriacs. And that's who they leaned on, and that's who they manipulated into the fucking mess that we're in right now. Are over these Karen fucking people that are so afraid to die. You know, these people do cocaine off fucking counters in bathrooms in midtown restaurants, but wear fucking masks on their face all of a sudden, but they wear it like this.
That's what gets me is
You know,
hilarious.
man,
They
come
wear the
on,
mask,
bruh.
and you would see people. They were smoking,
Take their
and
mask off to smoke their cigarette and put their mask
cigarette.
back
They had
on.
their gloves. They had their gloves on, and they touching their face with these gloves. And like the gloves don't help you none if you're touching your fucking face.
Right.
You know, it's I I I didn't stop doing nothing.
Right.
I got in lots of arguments. I got lots of I even had when my boss cussed me out one time. But
You know, as
because
if coming out. Go ahead.
I had a we had some of the guys in the gym at my house. Like once they shut us down, we came to my house and used my mats, and we kept training. You know, for the core group,
Right.
we kept training. We didn't stop. And but they turned around and we had a volleyball net. We were playing volleyball and basketball and stuff like that. And I put it like on my Snapchat, and somebody told on me.
Cops show up at your house?
No. My boss come up to me and cussing me out about it. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Because one of the guys that worked with me was a diabetic. He's a diabetic. You're going to kill him. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
my God.
Look, number one, if we roll around with each other within like 2 inches of our face for doing, you know, and fighting and jujitsu and everything, if somebody has something, I probably already got it anyway. So it is what it is. You know, if I'm worried about that, and, you know, and he was kind of stopped, you know, looked at me. I'm like, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it one damn bit.
Right.
And he actually commented one time because it had the one guy that was bleaching his dash. He never did get it. And I didn't stop doing nothing, and I never got it. I wash my hands and be hygienic, and but I didn't stop. I went all over the place. I went to Gatlinburg, on vacation in Gatlinburg. I went to the Gulf Coast. I went all over the place.
Bro, I'm 100%
stop
positive.
yet.
I'm 100% positive I had COVID back in February of that year. I had flown to Detroit, and I was in Detroit for a 2-week training session where I'm going to be there for like 4 or 5 days, and then I flew back to Memphis for a couple of days, and then I was going to be there for a week. So I get there, and when I get there, I start feeling kind of bad the first couple of days that I'm there. And I survive my first week. I make it back to Memphis. I do my day and a half turnaround, and I go right back to freaking Detroit. When I get back to Detroit, I am sick as a dog, and I am down for the entire week that I'm in Detroit, right? And my boss was so cool and so understanding that I was sick. And Like, it was bad. Then they start talking about what COVID is, and I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure I just had that shit. So then fast forward, I didn't get it until September of 2021. And let me tell you something, bro. I lost 30 pounds in 3 weeks. I couldn't get out of bed. And I lost 30 pounds in 3 weeks. And it was the worst experience I've ever had. And then I've had
Oh, I
I'm
bet.
pretty sure I've had it a couple times since then. And it's like every time that I've had it since then, nothing. Feel bad for, a 24-hour period, and then I'm fine. I don't go get tested. I'm not going to submit to somebody's data pool that could be corrupted. And then like at least you had
I had two
somebody.
on some fights. I had two on some fights. If you're going to corner, you had to get tested, and I'm like, at one, I'm like, look, I haven't been, I haven't. They were like, I forgot one of the ones like, man, I don't want to do it, and they're finally like, well, it's not that big a deal, and it wasn't too bad, but it matters who was doing it. I
Right.
was like, but I think I had somebody staying, like living in my spare room at the time. I think that November, I think they had it because they were sick as a fucking dog.
Right.
And I was in the house. I think that might have gave me some immunity right there. Just maybe just getting a little bit of it, and which I have a
I
good
mean, what a
immunity on stuff
way,
anyway.
what a
So
way to shut
after
your
that, I
immune
didn't get
system
nothing.
down. What a way to shut your immune system down, though. What we're going to do is we're going to
It's
separate you from everybody else. We're going to put you in your own little bubble. You're going to sanitize and wash your hands every time you touch anything. So we're going to unexpose you to the daily germs that you normally get anyway. Now you're going to live in this super clean, sterile atmosphere. And then the minute you walk outside, bam! You catch the first germ that comes down and you fucking almost die from a common cold.
Oh yeah, especially if you fuck around, go to the hospital or something.
Oh, bro, listen, I
You don't get you want you inside, so you don't get your sunlight, you don't get your vitamin D that you need to heal most things. Vitamin D is, they say is, you need to help keep stuff
right.
off and keep bad diseases off. But if you're staying inside and you're, like I said, I just felt bad for all of the people, like my mom got sick at one point and was at the hospital just being sick. We couldn't go in there, if something had happened to her
Right.
and we're sitting outside. And so many people had to happen where like, well, I couldn't go
Yeah,
see,
you're watching your parent die
mom,
through
and they're like,
glass.
yeah, and over bullshit.
Right.
It's just another one, just propaganda and using to see how far they could push people.
So now looking back at that, and you look back at it and you realize, they lied to us about the pangolin. We know that it didn't come from a wet market. We know that it was manufactured in a lab. We know that Dr. Fauci helped fund the NIH research. So if we truly want to go into what happened in Ukraine, have you heard about the initial strikes that Russia made when they went into Ukraine? Do you know the first 14 places they hit? Chemical
None.
and biological facilities. Did you know that in Ukraine, they have the exact same setup that they are running in Wuhan, and they were producing bioweapons in fucking Ukraine under U.S. funded dollars? Okay. Have you been watching the Fauci hearings? Rogan just covered
I
some of
watched
this
a
shit.
few. Yeah, I watched a
Wow.
little bit. I'll listen to a little bit. They're fucking reaming his ass, but I haven't been like deep in covering it.
Let me
No,
tell you
but I've
something.
heard a little bit of them. They're
When
just
you talk
tearing his
about
ass up, though.
what treason is to a country, how you commit treason against a country and defraud your country for the interests of other people, let me tell you something. There are countries overseas where if you financially steal from people and you steal billions or millions of dollars from people, they kill you. They execute you on the fucking spot. When you think about what this dude did, the money that he was paid from these pharmaceutical companies, this motherfucker was paid off from the pharmaceutical companies. Then you find out that doctors were paid off for positive test results. You find out that coroners were being sent You can look any of this shit up. They were being sent money to give COVID on death certificates. People were being diagnosed with COVID death in a motorcycle accident, car accident. You have somebody that's suffering from terminal cancer and they fucking die. Guess what? COVID death. We need the data. They ran, and you
That's
talk
it.
about the
And
conditioning that
the
you
flu
see.
numbers went down to the bottom.
The
Like
flu disappeared.
actual
The flu disappeared. Completely
flu
gone.
disappeared. Yeah,
We
the numbers
solved
disappeared.
COVID, cured the flu. Did you know that, Ricky? Thank you, COVID. Thank you for curing the flu.
A miracle.
So listen, you want to throw some shit in the wind and see if it sticks? Check this out. This is my theory on COVID. My theory on COVID, get ready. Man-made by U.S. doctors at the CDC in Georgia. It was stolen by Chinese researchers or given to them and taken to Wuhan. It was released intentionally in Wuhan and spread out through China to battle the uprising that they currently had going on in China. Because if you go back and you remember, at the time, Chinese people across the country, in the tunes of millions of people, were flooding the streets and protesting against their country. Do you remember that, Ricky?
I do remember that.
So how did you shut it down? Bam. You released COVID on them.
Shut everything down.
Okay, and it shut everything down.
Shut everything down.
But it was crazy how in the U.S. that if you wanted to go out and protest in a Black Lives Matter march and go burn down a city, then it was okay to be out and about and have your face covered because we understand COVID's here.
But you can't go to the park.
But you can't go to the park.
Dog.
Dude, they arrested people for sunbathing by themselves. They arrested people for paddle boarding by themselves, kayaking by themselves. Dude, to have 2 fucking police officers roll up on you for me kicking it on the beach by my fucking self, bro.
That's crazy. I mean, you're like 6 foot. Well, I'm fucking 6 foot.
Hey, I was 6 foot till you fucking showed up.
Yeah. I'm glad on that part. We, Mississippi and Florida.
We stayed free,
like
man.
Texas,
we stayed free.
We didn't get to that crazy point. We shut down certain things, and it was a little bit of shaky stuff.
Right.
But
Memphis locked down for a minute. Memphis locked down for a minute.
Memphis did lock down. But we stayed. I was still able to go to restaurants.
Let me tell you a crazy story about the lockdown in Memphis. Crazy story about the lockdown in Memphis. There is a performer in the Memphis that goes by the title Almost Elton John. His name is Jared Price. He's run for city council, I believe, before. He's now the commissioner of the downtown business association or community something for the downtown Memphis area, right? So music is shut down in the city. They're not allowing any bands to play, and they've just now started to open some restaurants back up. So Neil's Music Room out east decides to open back up. And him and his husband, I guess, decide to attend down there and go down there. And he is rather upset and mad that a band is playing and nobody is wearing a mask inside the building. So at which point he dials 911 and has the police come to this restaurant. So when it got around town and people found out about it, people really started blasting him. They're like, dude, who are you? You're a musician. Your job is to want to keep bands playing. Why are you acting like such a little bitch about this? He's out with his husband before at the restaurant. They're together, no masks on. They're out eating dinner, having a good time. But then as soon as they show up at a bar where other people are having a good time and music is being played, now we got to shut this shit down. So he catches a lot of flack about it. So a few days after that incident, he makes a Facebook post, and I have a copy of it on my Facebook because he deleted it. I saved it. He makes this post where he was threatened. Jussie Smollett, I believe. This is the type of incident that we're now going to have, where he claims to have been threatened. Somebody pulled a gun on him, threatened to kill him, and it was all captured on his Ring cam. It actually wasn't. The only thing you capture is him running back into his house where he's running like a little bitch. And I believe it's a fake incident. I've tried to confront him about it a couple times. I'm blocked on all of his social media. But this is the mentality of the person and people that you're dealing with in Memphis. You know what I mean? And for him to do that as a musician was just so sickening, you know? And when you give people, and this guy's running for higher political offices and wanting to be a part of the political structure in Memphis, these are the type of people that you do not want in power in Memphis. You know, anybody that jumped on that entire leftist shut it down agenda, you know, you do not want these people in power. You know, anybody that pushed masks, you don't want them. No, man, you do not want these people in power. You know, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, brother, but I'll let you run with the floor.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
They,
it's
I mean, they said it really didn't do much. The mask really didn't do anything, and especially with how 99% of the people were using them. They sure didn't.
right.
Like you said, hanging below your nose.
Let me look for something
There,
real
you
quick.
know,
Yeah, you know,
people
nobody
riding
wore
around in
nobody
cars.
wore the
People
mask
riding in the
properly.
cars by themselves. Yeah, people riding in their cars by themselves with a mask on. And just, I know, I chuckled. You know, um, I don't know. Unless I had to, you know, and if I did, I had like a cloth bandana or something around my face or something like that, you know.
Right.
If I was mandatory, had to, and we did a grappling tournament during the thing, and they were like, "You gotta run," we're trying to do this. Well, leave us alone. You know, you're going to take the mask off to grapple, but you know, get out of here. You know,
Yeah.
it just none of it made sense. You know, if you
listen,
really thought about it,
any of these
if he
people,
really thought about it, deep thought, none of it made sense because if this is supposed to help you, but you're supposed to take it down to eat or do all this, that, I mean, all it did was you see so more poor people because they had to wear that mask and it caused acne and fucked up people's
yep.
faces because all the dirt and crap that they were breathing out was staying right there on their face and making them sicker. That's all the mask did because you weren't changing them like you're supposed to. You should have to
It kills
change
me
them
because every
100 times
movie
a
I've
day.
ever seen about an outbreak, in fact, the movie Outbreak, they're in full freaking spacesuits, helmet on, regulator, you know, and then we've got the most dangerous disease in global history sweeping the globe. Here, you better put your shirt over your face. This is going to do fine. We're going to be fine now. Everything now is going to be fine. I don't even know. I you know, if you're that fucking gullible and stupid to buy into it, listen, man, I get you. People got scared, okay? But if you didn't start seeing the
Yeah.
data and you didn't start asking questions, you know,
Well,
people can't think for themselves.
people did. I think a lot of people did, but a lot of people were scared. You know, a lot of people were scared on the point of, well, if I ask questions, and then people were going to fucking just crucify me. And then there's people like you and me. We don't give a damn. You know,
And it's the social
like
conditioning.
come at me, bro. I
Social
don't care.
conditioning.
I'm gonna state my yeah. You know, they're so worried about people going to look down on them on social media and talk bad about them or something like that. They're so worried about that
Do you
stuff.
remember the campaign?
You know, and they don't need to be.
Vaccinated. Remember the stickers? Vaccinated. Remember when they take pictures of their bandy and they go, I got my Fauci ouchie today. I got my Fauci ouchie. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Then you
Actors were
see them
doing it.
poor.
Actors were doing it. And then people were posting pictures of their vaccination card because it was the social media campaign and the fun thing to do. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
What was that? What was it? A mayor or something? The one he was like, my favorite one was that sorry sons of a bitch that he he was like, look, do you see I can get these wonderful fries?
That's the fucking mayor of New York. The fucking mayor of New York.
Yeah. And then he was like, oh, I can get this burger.
You're telling me that they'll give me a joint or some weed, or I can get some beer if I go get my shot?
And you don't even take a big bite. He takes a little fucking nibble off the side, and like he don't even take a bite off
Hey,
of
my
it.
question
And
for
you,
people
he's
is
like,
how
get out
much,
of here. You're.
what did you sell your
It,
DNA for? Was it a Big Mac? Was it the fries? Was it the cheeseburger? You know, how much did you sell your soul for? Listen, bro, if they wanted to poison the entire nation, okay, all they would have to do is put cyanide in a chicken sandwich and market that motherfucker.
oh yeah, but it. All you gotta do is do like they did with the Popeyes chicken sandwich. You know, they did a few years ago. Man, that was hilarious when they did that shit. They didn't do it, but you know, it was just it was the big thing, and everybody was all them Chick-fil-A people were going into Popeyes and thinking they're gonna have a nice day, and them son bitches were slapping fucking people. It was
People
that was
losing their
too. That
minds.
was
And so,
losing their
so
mind
in
over
that,
some. I gotta get this Popeyes chicken sandwich. Like I didn't eat none of it. I was like, man,
no,
what
that's
wrong?
the
Like it's
social
not worth it.
conditioning. That's the social
That's
conditioning,
it. I don't.
you know?
That's it. And that's all they had to do. Like you said, they could juice up some fucking chicken sandwiches or something, and then turn around and put go viral on TikTok or whatever of eating that chicken sandwich, and then 500,000, 5
Right,
million fucking people will go, I gotta go eat that fucking chicken sandwich.
right.
And I ain't gonna get in that line for one. There's plenty of other things I can eat. I love chicken now, and that's my number one fucking thing I eat. Uh, but I ain't gonna get no damn fucking 2 hour line.
You're right. I ain't doing it either.
No,
No
I just
way.
not when there's 100 other restaurants sitting right there. Like they put that new Bojangles on Goodman. Man, it was like an hour and a half wait. Man, I ain't waiting no hour and a half for some fucking fried chicken.
No way, bro.
Not when I go down the street and I can go to a fucking gas station and get probably chicken just as good. Certain one. This is the South now. We got some good fried chicken. I go down and there's one in Bahia. That shit's just as good as Gus's or anybody else's.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, you know, and personally, man, if you've not ever had chicken from Dodge's, you've got to go to a Dodge's chicken, bro. Dodge's is where it's
Yeah,
at.
I used to live down the street from one when I lived in Whitehaven. I used to always stop there and get those and JoJo's.
Right.
I had to get a JoJo.
JoJo. So hey, man, you going to the fights this weekend? You going down to Batesville? Going to check out Daisy's show? You got a couple people on that card, right?
I got Zach Bishop on it.
That's right. Zach is on it.
Yeah, I got Zach Bishop. He's gonna be
Gannon
fighting.
Hayes. I'm not familiar
He
with
comes
who his
back
opponent.
after. Shit, I forget what his opponent's name is. He's
Gannon
fighting
Hayes,
out of.
right? Yeah, I've got his name.
Yeah,
right
he's
here.
fighting with Cody.
I'm announcing the show, so I've got the
Sheffield.
list.
Oh, okay. That helps.
It does.
I forget. Like, man, I don't. I pay attention. Like, I watch like footage or something like that, and after that, man, I'm zoning that shit
Right.
out. I know what I need to work on or what they need to work on, and then that's all I'm worried about. I ain't worried about names or that crap matters to me. But I know he trains with Cody Sheffield and
Okay.
and right there, so I know he'll be game and ready to go for sure.
Well, man,
Cody's
if
not
you
gonna
don't mind,
put
real
nobody
quick,
up there.
I'd like to run down this card real quick, give people what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Man, kind of fun. The main event, Big Teddy Webster, Cody Weathers. For people that don't know, Teddy is
The rematch.
Yeah, the rematch. Teddy's one of the pro boxers down in the area, down in North Mississippi, that is stepping over into MMA. He's doing this one time for Daisy. He always said he wanted to do it. I'm a huge fan of Teddy. I look forward to seeing how he performs. I've had the pleasure of announcing one of Cody's fights before for Attitude, so kind of cool. Some other big names on there, man. Joseph Pernal is taking on Nick De La Husa. We've got Chase Mann back in action against Nathan Mitchell. We've got William Wilson against Tyler Forsythe. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. Dylan Briggan is taking on Kevin Martin Jr. That's your 5 pro bouts that
debut
you've got.
right there.
Yeah, going to be a lot of fun there.
Yeah, Dylan's pro debut.
Some of the amateur bouts that look like they'll be fun. Jakia Kegler, ladies match against Kylan McGee is going to happen. Joshua Whiteside is taking on Keaton
kickboxing
Clinton.
match there.
Yeah. In fact, I got to figure that out, which one's going to be kickboxing too, because there are a few of them on there. Jared Travis is back against Marquez Stamps. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
The Scott Calvert is on that card. He was supposed to take on Christopher Cloud. I'm not real sure what happened there. I saw some of Chris's Facebook post. Looks like some kind of drama went down there. and they're not competing now. So that's coming up this weekend, man. Super excited to be a part of Daisy Showdown there, man. I've never been to that arena down there, so I get to add another city.
It's a pretty good spot. Danny Shell had a card down there a while back. That's when Cody and Teddy fought the first time. Was down there.
Oh, same building too. That's cool, man.
Same building. Hopefully those same results won't happen again, or the after effect won't happen
What
again.
happened?
That was
What'd I miss?
It was a brawl.
No shit.
Yeah. I never forget. Like me and I was walking right beside Teddy Webster, and we got up on top of the stage. And then we heard explosion, and I turned around, and there's fucking chairs and people, and it was just fucking chaos. And I just looked, me and Teddy looked at each other like, "What the fuck?" But it's going to be interesting. Big Cody, both of them got power in their hands, and I've been hit by Cody. I haven't been hit by Teddy, but I know Teddy's stronger than all.
Oh man,
he's
that big
country
old
boy,
big old country boy, man,
country boy strong,
straight out the jungle.
Cody's strong as a fucking ox too. I ate a couple fucking uppercuts from him before, and it was like, fuck. I just had to hit him with everything I had after that.
And then
I don't want you to hit me no more of that boy. Damn.
I thought I was heading to.
So it's some power.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I thought I was heading to Alabama at the end of this month, and found out that ain't happening a couple weeks ago. July 27 weekend's open for me, and then my next bout, man, dude, I'm so excited. Attitude MMA, West Memphis, Arkansas, at Southland Casino. My dream has come true. We've put together a heck of a card, or not we. Scotty has been working on this, but check this out, man.
Yeah.
Some of our Amis, we got Brian Smith, CJ Green, Justin Mullins, Jody Shutt, AJ West, Zach Powell. Then a couple guys that I do know. Roberto Cruz is taking on Seth Case. Mike Bowser and John Terrius Jones, your guy, my guy, our guys. To be honest, bro, that is my pick for fight of the night. I think they are going to put on a freaking show, and I can't wait to watch it. Mason Hibbs, Scott Calvert. But then we get into our pros, man. I'm kind of excited. Trey Manley is on that card. He's taking on Christian Turner. Scotty Stober is on that card.
Got some legs, man.
Oh, man, dude.
Trey Manley got fucking kicking legs, fucking like little trees on it,
his
man.
hair is so pretty. I've never seen anybody beat your ass and keep your hair perfectly intact. Like his post-fight interview looks just like his pre-fight interview, not a hair out of place, Such an athlete as well, man. His legs are freaking strong.
Oh, yeah.
Elijah Holt is on that card. We got a couple guys from law school on that card. He's taking on Adam Elliott. Scotty Stober against Thomas Klingon. And we've got actually another pro bout that we're working on that I can't tell you who it is because we're waiting on some contracts to get signed. But I really hope that this kid makes this card. West Memphis, Arkansas at the casino over there is our first show over there. They've really helped us out to try to build a presence in West Memphis coming up. And I hope we're going to turn this into a multi-show deal and line something up for next year and,
that'd be cool.
Take Tennessee to Arkansas and bring Arkansas over to Tennessee and just keep building this region up, man. It's a lot of fun.
I'm excited to see Scott. I'm excited to see Scotty Stover back in the cage again. It's been a while,
right.
And that's for a big guy like he is. That boy is athletic, man. He can move. He's solid all the way around. It's fun training with him for sure.
Do
when
you
I
have
get
a
to roll with
heavyweight
him.
at your gym?
I got some. We have just. Nobody really fighting right now, but we got a couple.
Training.
We got some heavyweights that train and stuff.
Cool.
We got
Do they want to fight?
Light heavyweight. Maybe down the road again. We got one. We got a light heavyweight. Working on getting him something soon and getting him ready. It'd be fun seeing him out there. But
when you think about the Memphis market right now,
down. We got a few coming. We haven't been putting out. We haven't been fighting as much as we used to. But I'd rather have quality over quantity.
Right.
It's and just taking smart fights and being healthy and having everybody healthy. That's the main thing I would worry about.
Who do you think the next?
So we can put on a good show.
Who do you think the next name from Memphis is going to be to get another shot at the big show? Who do you think is going to make that jump?
That's already pro right now. I'd say I see Rampage getting it back in there.
You think he's going to do another
Paul
show?
Kimball. Yeah, I think he's going to get.
So the
I think
story I heard.
if Ramp. I mean, I don't know if
Here's
I don't know
here's what I
anything,
heard.
but
Here's what I heard.
I
Here's my story.
all
Okay,
right.
here's my story.
Give me the scoop.
I heard that Rambo wants to do another one, and he wants to fight on the same card as his son. So his son fought at the UFL event here in Memphis last year. So, and Rampage and Frank Mir are involved in the UFL. So I would expect to see Rampage probably, have another fight, possibly in Memphis, bro. And if that happens,
but
I probably won't be announcing it. They brought Cyrus Fees in last time, and he announced it. I got to talk to him for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Great dude.
But I see Rambo and Paul Kimball with the two.
Rambo, shit. For some reason, I thought you said Rampage.
I might have said
You
Rampage.
did.
I won't lie.
Rambo.
I might have. Yeah, I was thinking Rambo.
Rambo. Yeah, what I'd like to see.
Raheem. I see Raheem, and like I said, I've known him since he was a kid, and I got to see him grow and become a monster that he is. And him and Paul Kimball, I see probably the next two. We got, there's lots of other talent right close, just, I would say give JJ just a little more time. He gonna get a call too.
Hey man, let's get him there.
I was like, for the next one, I say probably Rambo or Paul. But give us a moment, and JJ is gonna be right up there with them names too. I promise you that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. Being on
Zach, I mean, all of them. Zach is working hard. We got Taylor's working really hard.
Right. Well, being on the
JJ
attitude card right now,
between them three there, it's gonna be interesting.
Well, I hope they do well, man. And being able to show out on that attitude card is kind of fun because of the amount of publicity that we're getting from being on the LFA network now. The story is, from what I hear, there's a possibility of a couple rather large names being at our show, and I think Ed Soares is going to be at our show again. The owner of the LFA. He was at our last one in Memphis. He really likes, what we're doing as a promotion here. He likes the matchups that we're putting on. He likes the talent that he sees out of here. I mean, the last fight that he was at, our guy, Patera Wilson took on, what's his name from Albuquerque, New Mexico. God, he beat Patera too, man. It was kind of rough. Patera blew his load in the first round, man. Kind of gassed out at the end of the round, and the guy took advantage of him in the second round, ended up putting him down. And but the first thing he said is, man, you book some bangers. You're not setting your card up for the local guy. I mean, so it's kind of a compliment, when you're running a promotion. You don't want to run a stack card to where, you're building a card just for your local guys to win. You want it to be true competition out there,
Oh, yeah.
So Scotty does a real good job, man, of trying to put this stuff together. So,
well, and that, if in all if you're just fighting, cans your whole time, amateur, and then you go pro and you're doing the same thing, and then all of a sudden you come against some real competition, and you're not going to win.
Right. Yeah.
The chances of you winning are slim are reduced dramatically
there are
because you're
levels
not
to this shit, man. And you have to test yourself against some of these people, to understand what the competition is like, out there. You can't just walk over people and keep getting spoon-fed opponents and expect to make your way to the top. You're going to have
an amateur is when you need to be testing yourself. I mean, when you go pro, I understand you might want to take a easier fight here, just get a couple wins in your belt. But after that, you need. I mean, it's
man, jump out there and test yourself.
Test
yourself, because as an amateur, listen, losses matter. I get it. It's your ego, But your record as an amateur, man, that's your time to kind of test it out a little bit. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there because you're afraid of taking an L, Go out there and
Yeah, you could be 3-12 at amateur and then go pro and go 5-0.
right.
I mean,
All of a sudden you're in somebody's limelight. So
yeah. I mean, and an amateur lookout it don't matter because you took hard fights, you took chances, and you pushed yourself. And
good times, baby.
That's for sure.
Well, sir, we're about 2:20 into this thing, man. We got completely
Hell yeah,
sidetracked from our damn 9/11 theories. We just fucking rambled our ass to death. I hope we didn't bore the people too bad.
Yeah, if they're still here at 2 hours in, 2 hours and 20 minutes, they love us.
They love us, no shit.
For sure.
Well, we sure appreciate that. I appreciate you for having me back on again, man. Anytime you want to hang out, shoot the shit, baby. I'm available.
Yeah, I was like, Seth, we might mess around and make this a weekly thing, and if we do, we can. And I'm down.
I'm here, baby. We can do whatever you want, brother. We finally got the new camera worked out.
We'll figure something out.
I got some 4K vision happening here. I'm all live, baby.
Hey, we'll do a live one day. We'll build this up a little bit, and hell, we'll fucking do a live where we can get on there and all hell break loose in for sure.
Yeah, because then there's no taking it back or editing it. We're stuck.
No, there's no editing. It is what it is. But, I don't like our last one. I didn't do a whole lot of editing. As on that one, it's pretty well raw.
Like me and Cage,
that last one. I just cut the beginning where we
fucked off for a minute, right?
Where I reached across here and cut it on and reached across and cut it off, whatever, and pretty much that's it. And kind of looked through it and
Cage Man and I have recorded 15 podcasts that we can never air. It's like, well, I mean, I could probably cut the shit out of it and make it sound right, but the heart and meat of the story is like either it's like, damn, bro, we really can't talk about that, or it's like, do we really want to throw that dude under the bus? Let's just play politics and let's just let that go.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Well, my brother, I appreciate you, and till the next time, my guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And well, we got to do our outro there. Where for the ones that first time listening to you, where can they find the great Jamie Grant?
My name is Jamie Grant. I am the mouth of Memphis, baby. I do all the combat sports in the region, pro boxing, MMA. Listen, if you want a pillow fight, I can do that for you as well. I'll announce whatever you want me to. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Jamie 2Gs, JAMIE, the number 2GS. If you're looking for an announcer, I got you, baby. If you're looking for a hype man, me and Ricky got you, baby. I'm not going to say we're looking for sponsors, but we are poor. So anything you could do for us, we would greatly appreciate it. We got all this equipment working now. Man. So anyway,
I got a lot of amazing fighters. If somebody wants to sponsor them, for sure.
Listen, jump on board. We got fighters down in Mississippi. All Heart Jiu-Jitsu. Ricky is one of the head coaches there. Who's your other coach that coaches with you down there?
JJ actually been stepped up and doing some striking when Jordan went to be a missionary.
Oh, that's right. Jordan left.
Yeah, he went to be a missionary in Nepal. So JJ stepped up and has done a great job balancing, fighting, and trying to teach at the same time. Of course, I'm right there with him, helping him in any way I can. So he's got my 30 years experience to lead on. So it's been fun. It's been a fun adventure for sure on that part, and with me going full time too, it just keeps adding and adding. But yeah, JJ's stepped up and doing a real good job.
Me and Cage, man, I had to come down on a weekend, man. Come catch up with you guys.
Yeah. Come on,
need to make it happen,
down.
Man. Need to make it happen.
But you can find me on the Spotify. You can find me on Rumble and Apple and YouTube, and you can find it all at AIP. Anything is possible. Check them all out and like and share as always. And if you want us to keep doing this and do this as a weekly thing, just let us know in the comments. Give us a little feedback and let us know, and we'll we'll sure do it. We don't care.
Number, time, and
Yep,
opportunity,
this
baby.
is fun. That's it. That's it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
I
you ain't got to
appreciate-
go home, but you can't stay here. It's time to push
That's
it
it.
and shove it. That's called walking, 1 foot above the other. Here we go.
The ugly lights are coming on, baby. And always, y'all keep on keeping on, and the pizza and the chicken grease. Y'all be good.
Awesome stuff, brother.
I've been idling so long, my mouse went to sleep. There you go.